We're ready, EliteAri, right?
Have we started?
That was the start, EliteAri.
Oh, we have started? Oh,
Do you know what
yes,
that
the
was the great
X-Men.
theme
We love
for?
the X-Men.
Oh, shut up,
Yeah,
EliteAri. You supposed to say no? Oh my god, we're talking about X-Men today, EliteAri?
no, we're not.
Oh. But we
We're here
will
to
be
talk
talking
about House
about
of the
X-Men
Dragon,
soon
right?
on the EliteAri channel. No, that's not true. On the OrdinaryAri channel.
Yep, thank you. Yep.
It was just a good bit of EliteAri, and I thought we'd get some shilling out of the way. We're going to be talking about the first 3 X-Men movies, so everybody better go and check that out. But actually, we're just here to talk about Season 2, Episode 8, season finale of House of the Dragon. EliteAri,
It happened
this
so
episode
soon, Kyle.
sucked.
Did it really?
I don't know. I want you to say something, and then I'll give my opinion afterwards as to not thwart your initial thoughts.
So, this
It's
episode...
just like every other episode, whatever. That's you.
This was one of the better ones of the season.
Oh my goodness, he's hot taken right here. You know what I was going to open with before I thought of my great X-Men idea, EliteAri?
What?
In a funny voice, I was going to reiterate what every tweet says about this episode. Did I just watch a 70-minute trailer for Season 3? This show sucks.
Yeah, there was a feeling at the end of the episode, and I was like, oh, I guess we're just ending here for 2 years.
EliteAri, you remember last time when I will, like 3 episodes ago, or the whole season, where I'm like, there's 2 big things that have to happen before the end of the season? Guess what? None of them happened, EliteAri.
No, I mean, none of them? Really?
If you're going in, EliteAri, we knew 4 things, you know, and every time I changed it to like 5 things. Blood and cheese is going to happen. That was episode 1, epic.
Yep.
Rhaenys was going to die in an epic cool battle. That happened in episode 4. And then the Thanapa and the Punata. And the Punapa and the Tunata happened kind of at the same time. And obviously it was going to be either the second last or last episode of the goddamn season. But it didn't happen.
It's a very bold decision by them, isn't it? Just to not do the action. Because you figure they know that a lot of people are just watching and they're like, oh, I can't wait. Dragon, cool. Dragon
Especially
fight.
when it's a 2-year wait.
Yeah, it is.
And it feels like a much more natural ending point, and also, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I mean, it's gonna get people excited to watch the beginning of next season, unless they delay even further and they like do even more like setup or something. But I feel like next episode they just have to be complete action right from the beginning. But I don't know.
Yeah, I get because they have precedent for this, right? Season 4 of Game of Thrones, episode 2 is when Joffrey dies, and that's like, I think a lot of people thought that was going to be the end of season 3, but. Like, it has to be, like, the 2 things have to happen in, like, episode 1, I think. But that's weird. But I guess that's cool if you're back and you're like... But also, are people really going to remember when you're going into that? So they might just, like, do a slow episode for episode 1? I don't know what's happening, Leary. It is silly.
Yep.
Silly show. Stupid show. Dumb show. Did anything happen this season, EliteAri? What happened?
Oh, I mean, I don't want to spoil it. Some stuff happened this episode, right?
I guess we can start with the notes, EliteAri. I got some notes. I got to scroll down. Oh my god, I just opened this document.
Wait,
it's on episode
before
1.
that, why don't we talk about the title of this episode?
Oh, the terrible title, The Queen That Never Was. Corley's is shit.
No, not even never.
What is it?
Wait, isn't it The Queen Who Ever Was?
Wait, is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Did I just auto-read it?
Yeah, I saw it on Binge, and I was like, did Binge mistype it? And then I looked it up on IMDb, which I also saw the episode had a very low rating, which was really funny. But it's, The Queen Who Ever Was is what I also saw.
Hold on, I'm on IMDb now.
I don't know why.
The Queen Who Ever Was. There ain't no way, brother. Ain't no way.
Maybe this makes more sense to a what do you call it? A book reader or whatever, but I don't know what that means. The Queen Who Ever Was. I thought it was like a meme title.
Is the Queen That Never Was a Daenerys reference, EliteAri? Is that why Rhaenys has been called that this whole time? It's been a foreshadowing that Daenerys is going to lose?
The Queen Who Never Was? Wouldn't know. Well, how would that be? You mean like
Dany never
on
gets
the meta
to be queen.
level?
Jon Snow's just going to stab her.
What does that do with Rhaenyra though? I mean, Rhaenys though.
Because this whole book is just teasing Daenerys the whole time.
Yeah, but what is that? How is that a reference to Daenerys?
Well, it's not a reference. It's like foreshadowing, bro.
How is it foreshadowing? I mean,
because Dany's the Queen That Never Was, EliteAri. Are you opening your fucking ears or something?
Yeah, but what is it? No, okay, this doesn't make any sense. But okay, yeah, no, I disagree with you.
You haven't read Fire and Blood. You don't know what I'm talking about. There's no way it was the Queen Who Ever Was. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. There is a meme where it's like that was the best ever whatever.
that was the most season ever of House of the Dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
You just watched, EliteAri.
That's what I took from this.
I don't know memes. I'm a meme genius, EliteAri. I'm a memer.
Thank
oh my
you.
god, I just saw the thumbnail you sent me, EliteAri. That's crazy. Now, Terrible title. Can't believe they were referencing
Yes.
Danny the whole time. Now,
Not true.
oh my god, my first note, EliteAri, did I just watch a 70-minute trailer for season 3? Oh my god, we talked about that.
Mm.
Oh, EliteAri, we're going to start off hot here. We're talking about Tywin Lannister, EliteAri, at the Triarchy and stuff.
Yep.
Did you figure that out?
Well, yeah, yeah, I did, because it was yes.
They never said
Was
it.
that meant to be like a big puzzle thing? Okay.
No, I was
Well, I
just
assumed. I remember last time they
EliteAri,
brought it up.
there's a lot of times you don't figure things out, so don't act like you're a genius or something every time.
I feel like this was.
It's going to be
It
very
much felt
be,
like.
what are we doing here?
No, not at all. I knew it immediately. They didn't even have to say anything. I could tell the difference between his like noble stature and the way he carried himself, and these savages around him. I could tell.
Oh my god, EliteAri's a racist and a transphobe, but we'll get to that in a second. Now.
Mm-hmm.
EliteAri, in my mind, I first of all, I wonder which kingdom of the Triarchy they were in. That'd be funny. Maybe Lys, because it looked like an island. I don't know. They never said that either. Now, what was the first thing I was going to say, EliteAri? EliteAri, the Triarchy, where they hang out. I'm imagining like a massive city and a tower and stuff, but instead they were like pirates or something. That was a little stupid, but I don't know. It doesn't have to be book accurate, EliteAri. We hate books here. Anyway, Tywin Lannister talking to the Triarchy, being a little bitch boy. That's a pretty good summary, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Don't worry, I got more notes in detail. Getting pushed around by the 3 guys. Now, they had a Tyroshi with a blue beard, EliteAri. Did you see that?
I remember one insert shot when they were fighting in the mud and there was a guy with blue hair or something.
No, one of the main guys he's talking to, there's a cool guy with a deep voice, and then there's a guy with a blue beard, EliteAri. And this is a big thing, EliteAri. This is like Wolverine being in, oh my god, I love X-Men, in the yellow, EliteAri, because in the original show, Dario Naharis, Danny's favorite boyfriend, who's just still in Marine, I think, to this very day, EliteAri. He was supposed to have a blue beard and stuff, but, this show said that's stupid and for kids, and we can't have him have a blue beard. They all think this show isn't cool anymore, so they just made him a sexy... First of all, they made him that guy from Deadpool. Crazy, another X-Men reference, EliteAri. And then they recast him because he had to make Deadpool, and probably not. I don't think those timelines match up, though maybe, EliteAri, it might.
I think
Probably
it was something
not.
like that.
No, because that was like season 3's 2012. Deadpool comes out in 2015. EliteAri, we'd be stretching it quite.
I think it was the same.
But that doesn't matter. Anyway, they just made him a sexy Jon Snow looking bloke. So this is a massive moment for Tyroshi everywhere.
Well, I guess I would have to say that I didn't even notice the guy that you're talking about. If is he the one like sitting in front of Tyler?
He was actually in the middle. I remember.
Okay, well, I didn't notice it. It didn't stand out as particularly bad, so I was okay. But I did notice the guy when they were fighting in the mud, and I was like, that looks really bad. But I don't know. So I mixed on it, I guess.
These Tyroshi, EliteAri, they all have colored hair. And then all the Lyseni, EliteAri, they all look like Targaryens with their Targaryen hair. So, crazy.
Right.
And then the third one, what's the other one, EliteAri? We got Tyrosh, we got Lys, that's the one, and Mir, EliteAri. I don't know what these Mirish look like, but I bet they're ugly. Now, not what I imagine the Triarchy would look like. Oh, I got EliteAri, should just read my notes, huh? They want the Stepstones, EliteAri, to help destroy the blockade. You understand? They got a navy and stuff. Tywin is scared to piss off Aemon, so he's like, I can't give you the Stepstones. My king might hang me for this. Because he's a little soy boy, EliteAri, and we hate him. There's a Tyroshi with a blue beard like Dario was supposed to have. God, EliteAri, I'm so smart. They tell him that he could topple the Prince region with the navy they're going to give him, EliteAri. They were like flexing there. But Aemon's got like a dragon and stuff, so I think they're not even true. They're not even true right now.
Yep, true.
And then EliteAri, the moment happens, Philosophy Tube shows up, and she was playing a boy, which was, I don't know, that seems like some sort of transgender politics or something. She was, because before that, one of the dudes, probably the great man with the blue beard, says, he is our commander, da-da-da-da-da, and then she showed up.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I assumed it was a woman the whole time, which is like what the subversion was at the end about how like, oh my gosh, you're gonna like impregnate me, but no, my wives or something.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what was happening, but I guess it's a man. Okay.
Well, EliteAri, we're trying to show that foreign cultures here are a little different. That's why you're allowed to fuck their wives and stuff, and they have blue hair and stuff, and And so, like, you can have gender ambiguity-looking characters. I think that's what we're going for. Because, you know, in Westeros, if you're a big, strong man leading an army, you got to be a big, strong, masculine man. But not in these other cultures, you know. Because Westeros is supposed to be England and stuff. And we fucking hate those Catholics. What is England? They're not Catholic, EliteAri.
Protestant.
No, what if they're Anglican?
Anglican. I don't know. I don't know anything about religion, Kyle.
Yeah, tell Jarky Bacon, we hate religion. Okay, anyway. I think Philosophy True probably hates religion too. I bet there's a video on her channel about it.
Maybe.
And
crazy. She was in The Acolyte and now she's in this. Oh my gosh.
Yes, she's just super duper famous. It's crazy. EliteAri, we have another crazy guest appearance coming up in this very scene, but we're not up to that yet because she shows up and calls him Tywin. You didn't catch that, did you, EliteAri? Do you not think this is funny?
I don't. What guest? You gotta be more specific here. What guest?
She literally comes in and says, "Oh, Lord Tywin," and he like has to correct her. She literally says
I remember her saying, or someone was saying Tyron or something at some point.
Maybe it was Tyron, EliteAri. I want it to be Tyron because it's fucking stupid.
No, this was after the mud fight thing.
Oh, yeah, she fucks it up later again.
Crazy. Imagine messing up a name. Wouldn't that be terrible?
But EliteAri, we're jerking off the original show throughout this whole fucking episode, so of course she said Tywin at the beginning. Terrible.
Okay.
Oh, this episode sucks, EliteAri. Not really, I don't know. So, EliteAri, I'm watching this episode and I'm like, this sucks. No, I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird, and what's happening here? And then Philosophy Tube is a bad actor. She's using the exact same voice she uses in her videos I don't like, and I was just annoyed. And then a bunch of other boring stuff happens.
Good actor. Didn't have any issue.
Shut up, EliteAri. And so I'm just like kind of disliking the episode or something. Then EliteAri, you know, oh, EliteAri, you gotta understand the mindset going in, the context, EliteAri. There's a context. We all live in a context. Remember what Kamala Harris said? She's a genius. She's my president. Now, EliteAri, why'd you let me make a president joke? Now I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know.
Context, EliteAri. This episode leaked 5 days ago or something.
Oh, yeah.
And so everybody knew about the vision. And I even, did I tweet about it and I sent messages? Oh my god, EliteAri's going to freak out because there's a White Walker, EliteAri. Don't say a fucking thing. We'll get your genuine reaction later. But anyway, I was like, oh my god, EliteAri's
I guess I should say I wasn't spoiled. I didn't hear anything. I had no idea.
I almost spoiled you on purpose just because I thought it would be funny, but then I thought better of myself. Now, EliteAri banned me in his stream yesterday for not spoiling Naruto because he's so... what do you call it when you're not preoccupied or predicated, but paranoid, EliteAri? They all start with P. I'm a genius. So fuck EliteAri. So next time I will be spoiling him. Lucky that happened after that. Now, it leaked and everybody... Well, I saw Carmine of Red Team Review, EliteAri, Preston Jacobs' sidekick. And he was just on Twitter shitting on this thing. Hadn't even seen the episode yet. Had only seen leaked images or something. I don't know if the whole episode leaked or if it was just the Daemon scene. But these
oh, like an actual scene leaked. It wasn't just information.
Well, the Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon episodes leak in their entirety all the time, EliteAri. This has happened a million times before.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's
famously episode 6 of season 7. My goodness.
Famously, the first 4 episodes of season 5, like 2 weeks.
Oh yes, actually, you're right.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, we both know this because What the Flick did 4 reviews on the same set before it, and they mentioned that they watched the leaks beforehand. That was pretty funny. We both love What the Flick here. We love Cenk Uygur.
Yep, those were the days.
Why aren't they reviewing House of the Dragon, EliteAri? We'll never know.
I think they broke up.
They what?
Didn't they break up? Is there still a What the Flick, or are they like a podcast
No, I think
now
they discontinued the channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't break up. A lot of those people still work there, I think. No, actually, I don't think. Ben, that we don't need to talk about this, EliteAri. I already started with an X-Men joke and a wrestling joke. We're not talking about What the Flick right now. What a great name. Why don't we have a good name like that? Why don't we make it a duo channel, EliteAri? Okay. Put on all our great content on there. Oh my god, what would we call it? Shut up, EliteAri. Now, it leaked, so I was... And Carmine is a fucking moron, EliteAri. I hate this fucking idiot.
Okay, wait a minute.
So, EliteAri, hold on, let me just do it quickly.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
He didn't like it, so I was primed to like it, EliteAri, just to shove it up his stupid fucking ass. And then I watched the episode, and I'm like, And then EliteAri opened the great Preston Jacobs stream. You know, I'm on break at work. EliteAri worked like 7 hours and a half or today or something. You know, I'm pretty cool. And, you know, I'm watching it, and he's freaking out, EliteAri. He's saying, I don't think I can watch House of the Dragon anymore. This episode was so bad. It's almost like these episodes are written in completely different contexts, and episodes don't line up next to next. He was just going crazy. He was like, characters change from scene to scene and forget everything, and he's doing the more logicking little things that are annoying me. So I don't know, EliteAri, and then you said you liked it. So if you said you disliked it, I would have probably started defending it, but, you know, I'm just in a weird place, EliteAri. But go ahead.
I just wanted to say, unequivocally, that if you have very strong opinions on something based on, like, leaked information or, like, information before you've seen the thing...
You're just a bad person.
No, I think you're an idiot, and I hate you. So if you're listening right now and you're like, "Oh, I'm Ari's friend" or something, and I do that, I hate you. Okay, just know that. Okay? And it's for you personally if you're listening right now.
Attack on Titan final chapter leaks before they come out.
But if you form a strong opinion on it, Kyle, you're an idiot, and I hate you.
Sometimes I think I did, you know. Sometimes I'd see it and it would inform my decision. Remember that one time the Hanji pages in that Hanji chapter were out of order? That was crazy. Anyway, sometimes things happen like that. Minty used to do that a lot of EliteAri. He used to freak out towards the end when we saw the Mikasa kissing the decapitated head panel, and it was leaked a few days beforehand. Minty was freaking out. So just know that you hate Minty Earlobe right now.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, EliteAri. And then Philosophy Tube had a line where it was like, "What are you, an artist? A philosopher?" And I killed myself, EliteAri. I wanted to die.
It was great.
In the moment. Do you think they wrote that line for her?
No, there's
no way she has that much pull, but it has to. I'm convinced it's a yes, EliteAri.
It's just a coincidence. It's funny.
It made no sense. I guess.
It made perfect sense.
Hold on, in context, she's making fun of him for being a little sissy boy. Like, what are you? You don't look like a fighter. What are you, a fucking poet? Or a philosopher? What do you think philosophy is like in the world of Game of Thrones? It's crazy, huh? Now,
just like write poems and stuff. I don't know.
Wait, oh my god, no! Kristen Cole talks about this later, and the only good scene in the episode where he's like, "My philosophy used to be this," and he holds up his little sword. There's a big sword, EliteAri.
Wait, are we talking about that yet?
Playing a male character, I said that. The mud wrestle to see who's worthing. Singing and cuckoldry in alliance, says EliteAri. Just summarize that last scene they all had together. So yes, they're gonna fight together. And EliteAri, in the background was the great Seth Rollins.
I don't know who that is.
That's a wrestler, EliteAri. He was in one shot.
Oh, okay.
And he was just there, and I recognized him. Because recently, he was in something you like, EliteAri, but he wasn't because his scene got cut.
Deadpool.
But he did. It was either Deadpool or it was Acolyte, which would be funny if both him and Philosophy Tube were in both the same shows. That would be funny. Maybe they have the same agent or something crazy. Now, it is important to point out that if I was a true conspiracy theorist, you could beat me down. Philosophy Tube did do a lot of theater acting, I think, before they were a YouTuber. So it's not like they just gave this fucking thing to a YouTuber who's trying to start their first acting gig or something. She actually was an actor, but still she was bad. Now...
She wasn't bad.
She was.
You think everyone is bad, I don't
Her reading voice and the dialogue was no good, but the dialogue sucks in this show generally. It's not like Tyrion Lannister was very good in this episode either. But has he ever been good? They're all annoying me.
I think everyone's been great except for that one scene with Mazaria when she was talking to Rhaenyra and it was a bit weird. But other than that, everything's been great.
EliteAri hates lesbians. Anyway, Seth Rollins was off wrestling for like a month filming this thing, and then they cut a scene or something. It was funny. And maybe it was this, but they kept this shot in. And maybe he'll be fighting something in the next... I'm not going to say one EliteAri. Maybe in the next season or something. That'd be crazy. Introducing characters in the finale, EliteAri. Isn't this just insanity? Trailer for season 3, am I right? But anyway, that's all the Philosophy Tube stuff, EliteAri. Got anything else to say about it?
It was... I don't know. It's kind of a weird storyline.
You brought up
I don't care that much.
time... where you're like, oh, they finally gave the Iron Rod dude one scene with Laris or something. This was kind of that for Thailand, I guess.
It was, but it's like, I don't know. It's just so weird. Firstly, like as far as I remember, the only stuff we've seen with the Triarchy has been surrounding the Crab Eater, right? Or have we seen other scenes with them?
No, I think it was just the Crab Eater guy. They mentioned them other times of like updates,
which I thought was really... Yeah. I like that. That was kind of interesting. A different type of warfare in this world. And And then now we're kind of seeing the triarchy, but we're seeing them more in the context of similar to how like when Daenerys was in Essos and meeting all
Yeah.
these famous like rich people. It kind of felt like one of those scenes. Um, I don't know what bothers me about it. It just was like kind of like so different from everything else in the show, and like didn't it kind of
They
just
were
came
trying
out
to
of
be like
nowhere and didn't really
funny
go
and
anywhere. And
cute
I'm
or
like,
something, and it was just annoying. Terrible, Leary. Terrible.
it wasn't terrible. It was just a bit weird. I don't have any strong positive or negative feelings toward it. It was just a bit weird.
The I was gonna say something about Tywin Lannister, Leary, or something. Oh, Leary, not in the book, by the way. You know who got the triarchy
Wait,
on
what do you
board?
mean? This whole
Tywin
thing isn't in the book?
Nope, none of it. The what's in the book, EliteAri, is Otto sends a letter and tells them, and then like a few months later they show up.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's like Otto's doing. Tywin Lannister isn't going nowhere. Basically everything in this episode is not in the book, kinda, but we'll talk about them progressively. Oh, I guess I wanted to talk about the Twitter EliteAri. I think I saw a tweet the other day where it was like, "Oh, the House of the Dragon Twitter fandom is like the worst fandom I've ever seen." And this was like somebody saying, "Yeah, even worse than Rick and Morty or whatever the bad ones are." Mushoku Tensei.
What, Star Wars? Yeah, Mushoku
Star
Tensei,
Wars,
true.
maybe. And it is 100% true, EliteAri. There's like subsections of 10,000 like tweets of the dumbest opinions of everybody mad that every character has like a fandom, and there's like within each character fandom there are 10,000 liked tweets about loving them or hating them, and it's like, oh my god, they cut this part from Alicent in the book and they fucking ruined her character, and I'm gonna kill this fucking showrunner Ryan Condal when I see him at Comic-Con 2024. It's crazy, Leary.
Well, yeah, it's a product of a few things. First, there's different types of fandoms and engagement with stuff. Like Star Wars has obviously become like a woke, anti-woke kind of thing. That's like the engagement you'll see, and that's like extreme engagement, right? Especially with the Acolyte. Then you've got things which are adapted, right? You've got House of the Dragon, you've got Mushoku Tensei, and these have extreme, like, people who are absolutely in love with the original, and they will fight to the death over the smallest changes.
It's even worse, EliteAri, because this book is like a fake book and doesn't have any actual answers of what actually happens.
Sure, yeah.
So it's like, because it'll be like people saying, like, Alicent would never do this, and their interpretation of Fire and Blood versus a whole warring other thing of they're both Alicent fans, but their views of Alicent are both completely different. And then there's like, and then there's also the dumb team dynamic thing with the red and the blacks, and then there's just the trillions of Dany fans that still exist somehow, just jerking themselves off. And then there's the Jon Snow fans over here, and they fight with the Dany fans about who is the actual prince that was promised. And there's no Arya.
I was also gonna say
no Bran fans.
In addition to these like adaptations and then the woke and anti-woke discourse, there is also an entire thing about shipping. And like I think of like My Hero Academia and I don't really like all these like anime which have, or like even Attack on Titan has these massive like shipping kind of whole side of the internet which is all focused on that. They're all like kind of crazy and toxic, and I don't know.
I was gonna say there's none of that, EliteAri, but it is. It's just all Rhaenyra and Mysaria or Rhaenyra and Alicent. I don't. Is there? I guess Helena and Aegon had and Aemon had their like fans.
Sure.
And I guess everybody wanted Kristen Cole and Alicent, but that already happened. So. But yeah, it's, you just go on and you'll see it's the annoying thing where they won't fight with each other, but you're annoyed by both of them. But they will kind of fight each other. But I just want them to even out EliteAri and, make a neat little over to the window EliteAri. You know that phrase? I'm a genius. I know that phrase.
Right.
True. Now, anyway, on to Aemon burns sharp point out of anger. Now, that was crazy, EliteAri. We got like one shot of that. That was crazy.
Yep. Oh, can you remind me, is this a place we've seen before, or is it just
no?
like
It's
one
a
of those
new one.
I
think it's past Rook's Rest, EliteAri. We did see it on the map that one time, but it's that way, up and going that way. I'm sure it's somebody on Rhaenyra's council's fucking house, but we didn't see any of them this episode besides the one that went to Daemon. But we're not up to that. He wants to punish the people more by checking the boats. Oh yeah, they're all starving and the Iron Rod's walking with him, and he says, "Don't let any of the bolts out." I'm choking, EliteAri. Say something. EliteAri sucks. Now, he's just this Aemon EliteAri just doesn't care about the small folk. Can you believe it? He wants them to starve even more. And then
Yep. True.
and then he calls somebody a coward. I think he was talking about Rhaenyra. And then Helena and Alicent are wondering why the people hate them, EliteAri. You know, they didn't start the blockade and stuff. I feel like we had to talk about that at some point. But then I have in big letters here, shouldn't Helena know? Doesn't she know everything, EliteAri? But we're not up to that. But remind me to bring that up later, right? Shouldn't she? Why? We'll figure it out, EliteAri, okay?
I don't think that she knows. I don't think interpersonal stuff is her specialty here. So I don't think that she would understand the feelings of the common folk.
Yeah, but then later in the episode, like, I guess you can say she only knows the broad strokes about what's happening and going to happen, but also she's, like, acting like she's read the book. But we'll talk about it later.
Doesn't mean that she would understand the feelings of people, right? She didn't comment on anything where I'm like, oh, she has a very deep, empathetic understanding of Daemon's feelings or anything. It just felt, or even Aemon's feelings. Just felt like she understood exactly what's going to happen.
Really, I guess I don't really see it as a feeling thing. It's just like a mechanical thing of like, they want you to go and they're starving and they're mad, dummy. But anyway, she is autistic and stuff, but she's also, we'll talk about it later. She also says, I was happier before I was queen. Crazy. Alicent floats the idea of them leaving. Aemon marches in and tries to force her to fight with Dreamfire. Remember, we were so excited about this last time, EliteAri? You went fucking nowhere.
Yep.
Aemon spurgs out a little and Alicent wins somehow. Alicent makes fun of him for being a little pussy.
Yep.
Crazy. What a scene.
I have to say, I did like Aemon a lot in this episode. He reminded me a lot of when he was like a younger kid, the way he was acting. So I liked it.
Did he? How so?
Yeah, a lot. I don't even know. The fact that he is just yelling, and I'm like, this is like when he was a kid. I don't have any logic here, Kyle. It just reminded me of it. It's a feeling.
I don't know. He's just like a bad guy, and it's kind of boring.
And everyone right now, they're listening. They're like, yeah, I felt that, Ari. I'm like, yeah,
no,
you did.
They
and so did I.
No, they didn't.
I'm your hero here. I'm representing you. I'm the voice of the unheard. Please go ahead, Kyle. Continue.
I was gonna sing "I Can Be Your Hero, Baby," but then like my throat was a little sore, and then I was like, okay, I won't do it. You know that song, right, EliteAri?
Yep.
Oh, you're supposed to say no.
It's from the SpongeBob Super Bowl thing, right?
No.
All right, I'm just kidding. Continue, please.
What was he kidding about, Chad? That doesn't make any sense. Then Aegon, EliteAri, he's in bed and he's all sad and stuff, and he gets some rum from Orwyle and he says, "Orwyle, you're a good man." But then Laro shows up and says that they have to leave because either Aemon or Rhaenyra are gonna kill him. Aegon doesn't have a dick anymore. Crazy. And he says his dragon is dead, EliteAri, but last time Kyle said it wasn't.
Did you?
Yeah.
Or was there another Kyle in the show? Oh, I don't remember you saying that the dragon. Wait. Yeah, you did say that actually. Now I thought he was dead, and then you said that he wasn't dead or something. Yeah.
And now the show's trying to make you think that he's dead, EliteAri. Oopsie.
Yeah. But then the other, the Daemon's other daughter. Wait, was that Daemon's daughter? Now I don't even remember at this point. Yeah. She found the dragon. Crazy. Oh my gosh.
That's not the same dragon.
Oh, I can't tell. They all look the same. Which we're going to talk about when we get to the Daemon things.
They're very far away, and one's like a bright. Remember, Aegon's dragon was
like
pretty
gold or something, but I can't even
gold,
tell.
And this one was blue and very evil looking. Yes, EliteAri, it was blue.
Yeah, but it's been injured. That's why it was blue. It got burnt by fire, and it changed color or something, and now it looks injured. That's why it looks so weird.
But it's in like the Eyrie on like the top of mountains and stuff.
Oh, it flew very far away. I don't know. But it's the same dragon, obviously. Where else are we getting another dragon from? Doesn't make any sense. What were you saying? I had an actual point.
Aegon doesn't have a dick anymore.
Oh yeah, so we finally got to the addressing the issue of like who is in power here and what happens if Aegon just decides he wants to be king again. And I guess the implication is he doesn't want to do it because either he is afraid that like Aemon's just going to kill him, like even if he is the king, just secretly because he is like living near him, and he can't imprison him because he obviously has the most powerful dragon and they're relying on him. So I guess it makes more sense. I can justify it a bit more in my mind than what I was complaining about last time. So. Okay, cool.
True, EliteAri destroyed by facts and logic. He calls Aemon a fucking mad cunt. And I didn't like the delivery or the phrasing on that.
So you hate the Aegon actor now, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, you were saying he was great at the beginning of the season.
I think every time... he was great at the beginning of the season. I was going to say every time he says cunt, it is bad. But I feel like I remember one time earlier when it was good.
Well, he is injured now. He has to say it differently, right?
No. He's just a bit iffy, EliteAri, this actor, you know. In the original
Mhm.
show, just every line was great until season 5, Leary. Then they all sucked.
Mhm.
Every
Not
line.
true.
Remember the worst scene I've ever seen in my life in anything? When Jon Snow meets Daenerys and they're talking like stilted morons, and
God, it was
nobody
so
else
good.
complains about it,
Oh my
and it's
gosh.
literally the worst scene the worst
It
acting I
was
think I've
so
ever seen.
great. All
And
the
then
payoff to the build up of all these
and
seasons,
then
and they finally meet, and I'm on the edge of
and
my
it
seat.
sucks,
So
and they're
good.
both boring nonsense characters, and I just want to kill them both in the show because they're both so fucking terrible. And Jon Snow's not even
Mhm.
that good in the book, but Daenerys is epic in the book, Leary. We love Daenerys. But Daenerys in the show is like the
True.
worst character I've ever seen in anything. And the fact that she still has
Yeah.
fans on Twitter, Leary, pisses me off. That's why I tweeted
I
about it.
love Daenerys. I love Jon Snow. And I
Yes,
love the
and
Night
you
King
like
more.
Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia.
I don't like Demon
Leary.
Slayer. I don't associate with those people.
Yes.
The other two I like, yeah.
Yes. And Attack on Titan, Leary. God, what taste you have. He did give Gunbuster a 5, chat. Everybody apologize.
Mhm.
He does like cool stuff sometimes. Even when it's not even that good. What was the point of all this? Aemond asks. Crazy. I don't know why I wrote that down, EliteAri. Aegon pleads, I am the king, EliteAri. And if you recall from the original show, when Tywin Lannister said that if one has to call themselves the king, they're not the true king. I love the original show, EliteAri. Let's jerk it off more in this shit fucking episode.
Yeah, I didn't even make the connection, but that's a very good connection, Kyle. Thank you.
Yeah, I
we love
only
Tywin.
noticed it the second time when I was writing these notes. I'm pretty smart. But, it's just because I was making the I love the original show joke a bunch of times in my notes. Don't worry, we haven't even said half of them yet. I hate the original show, EliteAri. It sucks. Actually, we'll talk about that more later. Aegon wants to take the throne while Aemon's away. Oh my god, EliteAri already talked about this. Larys tells him he is not alone. Does he actually... Are they actually in love, EliteAri? What the fuck is going on here?
Well, I have no idea what Larys wants at this point still. We're gonna find that out eventually, I guess. I don't know. I feel like he just has some grander purpose. Maybe he is like literally the Varys parallel, taking away the young Aegon to be... Isn't that what they call the upcoming Aegon Jon Snow thing or something?
You're a
It's probably some
genius.
parallel to that, I guess. I don't know. Like they're in Essos, right?
They are.
And now they're heading there with this Aegon.
Well,
I don't know.
maybe we saw him leaving at the end of the episode. I don't know where they're going. I know that.
I thought they implied Essos. They said it at some point.
Why did they make Larys the most evil guy ever if they're trying to make him actually care about Aegon here?
I don't think he actually cares about Aegon.
But I think he does.
What's your evidence for it? The fact that they have similar, like, disabilities?
Yeah, I think that's very clearly to me what they're gonna, like, that's why they keep
I mean, to me,
reiterating
that's
this.
very clearly manipulation. Like, maybe it's an element of him trying to believe it himself. Clearly, he doesn't, actually. I think it's, like, a useful connection that he has with Aegon that he can use to manipulate him.
The Larys characterization...
He killed his own family.
Yeah, the Larys characterization is completely different in the book, too. Because the Larys killing his family thing is one of the, like, well, some people say this, and it's like the third option and one of the things that the show went with. So, in the book, it's... I don't know, EliteAri. I don't know what the...
Who cares about the book?
I don't know
It's
what's
bad
going on
anyway.
with any of these characters, EliteAri. It's so fucking weird and stupid. I don't fucking know.
Are you gonna
I'll have
drop
to
the
wait
show?
until it happens. No, EliteAri, I love the show. Kristen Cole's in the show, and I love Kristen Cole and his best friend.
Can we talk about Kristen Cole? Because,
No.
Kyle, I did not understand how the hell did the news about him and Alicent get out, and how did the brother know? And
We're going to talk about that when we get to that scene, EliteAri, and the dot
Okay.
point, and it's very far down on the list, so if the battery goes flat, you'll never know. Does he actually like Aegon? We talked about that. My bets are that he does, EliteAri. I'm just saying.
I'm betting that he doesn't. Or if he does, it's like a very small element that it's like just to serve his grander end.
Or he could go, and now that I've got you alone, Mr. Aegon, it's time for me to stab you. Or something.
No, I think he's using Aegon, right? Like he's clearly wants the power for something. I don't know what he wants it for, but I think that he eventually will get a revelation.
Thingy, EliteAri? He just wants the power, right?
Yeah, he wants the power.
But you keep going, well, I don't know what Larys really wants right now, and you've been saying that the whole
I don't know,
show.
right? Wait, you tell me. What is the most obvious thing that he would want in this situation?
Power, EliteAri.
Yeah, what does he want the power for? Just to
be a powerful guy that can't get pushed around by other powerful people.
So he wants to be the king, is what you're saying?
Why did Otto want to be hand of the king and have his grandchildren be the king?
Oh, he wants to be hand of the king.
Well,
I guess I could see that.
Hand of the king is only power, EliteAri. Are you stupid or something?
Well, it seems like he'd want a title in that case, unless you're saying he's already happy with the power he has, which I would not agree with. It seems like he wants something.
Up and up.
Yeah, so Is it for some end? You're saying it's just for the sake of power? Control is rather what you're saying, I guess,
Well,
more so than
power
power.
and the safety and power, and he
So
can
he wants
punish
safety. I'd
the
like that.
people.
He just wants a safe.
He'll punish the people that once made fun of him for being a little clubfoot.
Yeah, so I feel like when I say that I don't know what he's striving for, I feel like eventually we're gonna get a scene where we get him explain that to us. Like we're gonna say, "Oh, I hate the world," and blah blah. You'll get like a big monologue where he'll actually reveal his true intention. And that's what I mean when I say like I don't really know what I think Laris wants.
Whatever, Leary.
Who knows? That could be at the end of the show. It could be next episode when he dies. I have no idea. We'll see.
Maybe he's already dead. What if he's
I guess,
a faceless
there were a few
man,
seconds
Leary?
he wasn't
That
there
would
at
be
the end.
epic.
That would be crazy, but no, he's not. He has a leg that's bad. They can't replicate that.
Yeah, that would be the great. That's why it would have to be him, EliteAri, because he's going to start walking normally one scene, and it's going to be like, hey, it's going to be crazy.
Yep.
Now it's like Grandmaster Pycelle.
When are we going
like
to
always say.
Valyria? When are we getting the flashbacks? I want to get the. Oh,
Where are we
Valyria,
going,
sorry.
EliteAri? Where are we going?
Valyria. I was thinking about the Valarians. My apologies.
He said it wrong.
Yeah.
True. Remember that cool thing I tell you about that girl that went there on Valyria on the Black Dread and came back and she had like worms under her skin and stuff? True. Epic.
Yeah.
That's gonna
We need
be
a flashback.
when we do the
God,
next
we're
show.
gonna. Oh, when are we getting to this damn scene? We need to talk about Kyle. All right. I have a lot I want to say about it.
Well, EliteAri, if you'd shut up, we can finish. I got one more line on this goddamn Laris shit. You think I want to talk about Laris Strong, EliteAri? He sucks. I want to talk about Sir Simon Strong. Oh,
True.
we love
Yeah.
him. He turned on Daemon this episode. What was he thinking, EliteAri? Hold on, we're not up to that yet. They end up leaving after he convinces Aegon with legacy titles, and he ends up saying the Realm's Delight, which is Rhaenyra's nickname, EliteAri, which was funny. But this has been a continuous thing since the first episode, I'm pretty sure, where Aegon wants like a legacy, it seems. So that's what he really wants, just like you're thinking about Laris there, EliteAri. Crazy. Now, EliteAri, I have the most exciting subplot. Rhaena is starving and thirsty and cold, and then meets Moondancer. It's not Moondancer, EliteAri. That's his sister's dragon. It's Sheep Stealer. I got it wrong.
No, I think it's what's Aegon's dragon's name? Is that one?
Sunfire.
Whatever that is.
Sunfire.
It has to be. It makes the most sense.
It
logically.
doesn't make any sense.
So you're telling me there's just some random dragon from this
no,
just roaming the
EliteAri,
place
I
and no one's
explain
ever.
this to you every time. Like in episode 2 or something, they're like, Sheep Stealer has left the Dragonstone and been seen in this. I don't think they said she's been seen in the Vale, but she was.
All right, so you have some conspiracy theory about some dragon that they uttered some words about at some point.
They said it like 2 episodes back to back, and I reminded you each time, and then I've told you every episode, and you still don't remember.
going with the dragon that we saw earlier this season, a few episodes ago, that is clearly in the similar location and is injured.
You know what, EliteAri? You're such a little soy boy, little cuck, but the Vale is kind of right next. It is right next to the Crownlands. So if you were smart, you'd be using that as your evidence right now. But it's not.
I don't even need to say it.
They've even said the name of the dragon, and Aegon's dragon is dead.
Well, they're trying to cover it up, but yeah, I get it. We'll see.
No, I'm trying to cover it up.
We'll get the truth.
With my oopsie. Jace is being a... Oh my god, now we have to talk about this fucking moron. Jace
wait. We have to... Wait. More about this scene, about the... What's her name again? Rhaena? Is this Rhaena?
I think it's Rhaena, and the other one's Baylor.
Okay.
Bro.
Yeah, this was kind of cool. I was like, oh, look, she's really trying hard. She's so thirsty. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I actually like it. You know, she's willing to die to, like, get this dragon. And I understand it. She wants a dragon. She's the only one without one. And it's also, like, it's kind of funny that they didn't... they probably chased after her, but she probably got a head start, and they just can't find her. It's really funny.
Oh, my God.
So
my God, and Hero Preston Jacobs was so mad that they just, like, she was allowed to run off on her own, EliteAri. He was so mad.
Well, I just assumed that she ran, and they just lost her.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Which is like believable, I guess. It's like a being.
It is like she is shivering and stuff. I guess I like that because I guess I was clouded by that, and I was just like, oh, everybody hates this, but it's I don't know, whatever. It's kind of.
I think it's the best thing she's ever done. I don't remember anything else about her except for this one bit. And it was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
She just wants a dragon, and her dragon looks really cool, EliteAri, even though you don't remember it. Wait, she's not even gonna get the dragon. If it's bonded to Aegon, EliteAri, you moron.
I mean, what are you talking about? We had Laenor still alive. And
Laenor's
we had,
fucking dead, EliteAri.
No, he's alive. We saw him that one time. It'll be fine.
Think Alicent's gonna go hang out with Laenor and his boyfriend?
That's where Aegon's going, right? To Essos or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Why don't they all just hang out? Anyway. God, what if they convince Laenor to come back and, like, say, oh, those kids ain't mine? Crazy. That would be crazy. Turn it on. But anyway. They've changed a lot of things from this silly book. We could get that one too. Now, also, this Rhaena stuff, it's like that last Dany chapter in A Dance with Dragons where she's wandering through the wilderness and she has to eat, like, Drogon's charred remains, and then she gets a period EliteAri and
Oh.
she shits herself.
Mhm.
It's cool, EliteAri. Can't wait to
So,
read that.
for a split second, when she did go to the dragon and it was eating something, I thought they were eating the Targaryen, like, kids or whatever. I was like, Jesus, that's crazy. Because it did look like that for a second, and she was shocked. Like, we see her face for a minute, and she's freaking out, and I was like, oh
that
my
would be
god, I
epic,
can't believe it.
truly epic. Poor Viserys the second and Aegon the third. They're fucking dead,
Yep.
bro. Crazy. Oh, that would be.
No, I don't think that's what happened, but yeah, it could be.
No, I think because it's called a sheep stealer EliteAri, it was probably a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's called Sunfire EliteAri. You're right.
All right.
Now, onto this fucking Jace being a pissy baby to the dragon seeds EliteAri. Hugh is minding his own business. Ulf is being a prick, but he doesn't realize it, probably. He just wants to hang out with his boys, but Jace won't be one of the boys. And that's that first scene. That was pretty funny, huh? Ulf's just being a prick.
I guess, yeah, just generally, I've enjoyed Ulf a lot. He was great. He even had a line I wrote in my notes when Rhaenyra's like, you should act like a knight. He's like, oh, best make me a knight then. And I was like, that's really funny.
Got him!
I actually like him. Yeah,
Dumb
he was great.
How about Ulf for the throne, EliteAri? You ever think about that?
It's probably not for the best. I don't know. He's a bit unaware of. I don't know. He's like kind of like Helena, where they don't understand everyone around them. Yeah.
But it's kind of from the opposite thing. Like, he's the king of the social, not hierarchy, but social situations, whereas Helena probably isn't. But they've got to the same spot. I bet they would kiss if they met EliteAri. They'd be in love. Now.
True. Yeah, he'd have a moment where he like stumbles on his words or something. I don't know.
And she finishes his sentence for him. Oh, it'd be cute, EliteAri.
Yeah.
It's actually true. What is this reminding me of, EliteAri? We both got the same vision.
I don't know.
Why am I thinking about Donkey and his dragon GM?
I don't know, Kyle.
Do you think that dragon could beat up Rhaenyra and Syrax?
That dragon was crazy strong. Yeah, probably.
I don't remember anything from those movies, EliteAri, except for that vaguely, the donkey fucked the dragon. That was pretty cool.
And they had kids, yeah.
True. And then Shrek had Fiona.
Yeah, but she was an ogre.
No, she was like a princess. And her like husband looked like Jaime Lannister.
That is very true, yeah.
I remember those great memes. Jace has a scene with Baela. Speaking of people who should be fucking instead of being whiny to each other all the time, check out these two idiots.
I love every scene with these two. These are the best scenes of the season.
God,
it's so
EliteAri.
cute.
They're not. They should be
it.
being cute, but they're not. I like Baela. She was just like, you're a little pussy and shut the fuck up, and you're... She even calls him out for pouting, EliteAri, and that's the word I always use for him. Oh my god, she's after my own heart. But what if they just kissed?
Well, this is even better than them kissing. This is like they're an old married couple that are squabbling. We love it.
We hate this little Jace prick. And it's intentional now. At the beginning, I was just making fun of him because, look at his face. But now the show's trying to make me hate him. And I'm falling for it, EliteAri. Right? That's what it's doing. Well. You hate him too, right?
Well, yeah, when Baela is... Wait, that's her name, right? Baela is speaking our truth. She is telling us that who cares about these dragons or whatever? There's more to you than that. You are the son of Rhaenyra. You have your own values. You need to prove yourself.
What the fuck is there to Jace? Name one characteristic besides pouting little bitch boy.
He has black hair. It's pretty cool.
True.
He wore a really cool robe that one time. Or not robe, a cloak or whatever. It was sick.
I think he's still wearing that same cloak, right?
Well, if he is, I didn't notice it, but it was cool that one time.
It looks like a little page boy, I don't know what that is, but he looks like he's from like Romeo or Juliet or something. He could be a little
like
Romeo.
A medieval society.
Yes. What do you say about society?
Medieval.
I thought you said a commentary on our society. I was like, that's crazy.
True.
You're a genius. Wouldn't it be great if they were romancing? True. Dinner scene and Ulf is being bad again. Rhaenyra offers them knighthood if they win in battle. Crazy, EliteAri. They could become knights.
Yep.
That's like a big deal.
It is funny that like I'm sure they're going to slowly realize this, and I feel like Ulf probably has a little bit, but they have the power in this situation. Like they have dragons. They could just run away and never be found again, and probably command like a whole army or something.
They
I don't
could
know.
go to Essos
but we'll see what happens.
A little kingdom.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know where this will end up, but I think it'll be a slow realization that they have more power than they think. That's what I'm thinking this is leading towards. Like a knight, what is knighthood to a person who commands a god, right? In a dragon. I guess we'll see.
EliteAri, you always said these dragon seeds is going to be a bad idea.
I'm still thinking that. Um,
Which one's
but
gonna be
Adam
the
did his
evil
job
one,
this
EliteAri?
time. He was guarding. He did his duty.
Who?
I don't know. Adam, that was his
Yes,
name, right?
true. We're getting to that. Shut up.
Yeah.
They are hesitant to kill innocents, but Rhaenyra says it's for the greater good. True. Baylor was like, we'll kill innocents.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the innocent, EliteAri. What are we, pussies? Ulf says
Who it
he'll...
was?
Go ahead.
What's the other guy's name? The guy with the dead daughter.
Hugh the Hammer. Oh my god, his
Hugh, that's
fucking
right,
daughter
Hugh the
died, EliteAri. This is crazy.
Yep.
Hugh didn't do fucking anything in this episode. He was just like, trying to...
Nah, he was great. He was like the silent, like respecting one who understood his place. It was great.
He's gonna be evil, EliteAri. I know it.
Maybe.
Ulf says he'll take out Vega by himself. That was really funny, Leary. He's like, that Silverwing, she's a little thing.
What did you think about Ulf's dialogue? Because he had the most, like, he didn't speak.
It was
in any
trying
of
to
these
be
weird,
funny.
like, yeah.
I think a lot of the time, this might have been the show's intention, but I did feel like the social cringe where it was like, oh, why are you doing this right now? What are you doing, idiot? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're getting in trouble right now. This is a little awkward. So I guess that takes away from trying to enjoy his funny moments. But now that I can remember them out of context, I'm laughing.
All right, perfect.
But is that good? I don't know. Anyway, Rhaenyra is interrupted and has gotten a letter from the great Simon Strong about Daemon's treachery and takes Adam with her. It is cute that she takes Adam because he's her favorite.
Yep. Well, she knows him the best. She knows that he worked for Corlys.
He's the favorite. Now we've got Corlys encourages Rhaenyra to... Now, some of these are out of order, because sometimes, we go character by character, EliteAri. Let's not fuck around here. Daemon's next after Corlys, EliteAri. Calm down. Corlys encourages Rhaenyra to strike and not use the dragons as a deterrent. This fucking Rhaenyra is in Season 6, Episode 8, EliteAri, and she's still trying to not fight. Can you believe this?
It is crazy. She is the moral center of this entire universe.
She is, but she's supposed to be an evil, grumpy bitch, EliteAri.
No,
she's supposed to be fat. What is this?
I know, it's crazy.
Stupid book.
Like, she's unequivocally the good person in this situation.
She is.
I
don't know. We'll get to that last scene, EliteAri. She's a bit crazy.
True.
But we'll talk about it. Helena's brought up as a threat, and she goes, "Not my sweet sister Helena."
Yeah, she says that every time Helena's mentioned. It's great.
Because they want you not to think she's bad because we like Helena, EliteAri. She's our favorite character.
Yep.
The queen who ever was the boat? Question mark.
Huh?
He calls the boat the queen, and then I made a funny joke about the title that we were talking about 20 minutes ago, EliteAri.
Oh, okay. Wait, was the boat actually named the Queen Who Never Was or Ever Was?
Yes, she says it's no longer the sea snake. I've named it the Queen That Never Was. And then
okay, so it's not the title, right?
That's very heartfelt. But I said the Queen That Ever Was.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god, EliteAri.
Okay,
I need to hire somebody that laughs at my genius. I hate EliteAri's fake laugh. It pisses me off. But that's that for that scene. And then Corlys and Alan have a talk, and this was bad acting, EliteAri.
Yeah, this was good acting. Alan did a great job. I'm glad to see him come out of his shell and yell at Corlys, who probably deserves it in this situation.
I hate this small folk shit, EliteAri. I don't care. I don't care that this idiot didn't love him.
But didn't you like how Alan was referencing characters we've known, but he doesn't know them? So he was saying like your daughter and son and their heir and stuff. And it was sick.
And
I like that.
were epic, brother. Epic. I love those guys.
Yep.
I'm drinking, EliteAri. Say something.
Yeah, Alan was pretty cool. I am curious if he's actually. I don't even know if we'll ever see more of him. Like this could be the conclusion, I guess. But
he's in the armor rowing in the boat with Corlys at the end of the episode. You stupid idiot.
Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. But he might just become a voiceless character. He might never say anything ever again. He'll fade into the background.
A silent sister, our man Alan. Now,
right.
I don't know. It wasn't that bad, EliteAri. I'm just being funny a little bit. But,
Well, it's definitely it is an important scene with him, like acting-wise, right? We haven't seen him do anything. Now he's like actually yelling and expressing his emotions and stuff.
He's been a little stern boy, but then he showed some emotion, but I didn't like it.
All right. Well, I liked it.
I hate parents, EliteAri, and I hate people who are mad that their parents didn't love them. I hate parents. Now, moving on.
All right.
Now, dorky guy shows up with Daemon and tries to convince him to claim the throne. Don't we just hate this Brune guy, EliteAri? Isn't he the worst?
The guy who Rhaenyra sent?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm neutral on him. I don't remember him. I probably wouldn't recognize him if you showed me a
Did you
picture of
see
him.
him walking off at the end after Daemon bows to Rhaenyra because he's mad?
Nope.
They focused on it quite a bit, EliteAri.
Oh, okay, maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was writing notes about all the Daemon stuff. I don't know. I paused at that point. I had a lot to write about. But I don't know,
first of all, I'm sure you didn't write anything about that shitty scene. You're talking about the other scene, but they were like 10 minutes apart.
Well, the first scene we get of him where he goes to the weirwood and it whispers.
First of all, that's not the first scene. The first scene is him talk. Oh, wait, yeah, he is. What did it whisper?
Traitor. The sub said it.
Oh,
and
I
you know
thought
what, Kyle,
Daemon
what's
said
crazy?
traitor.
No, it was the weirwood whispering, and I tried to hear, like, was it Bran? Like, I'm just gonna.
I didn't take you for a turncloak. That's what Daemon said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't hear what it
but
said.
the wind said traitor, and it's obviously Bran. But no, I didn't hear it either, Kyle, because I had my
that one time. Crazy, go ahead.
Well, it has to be, right? It's the only time we ever heard whispering for a weirwood was when it was Bran, and that one time with the Eddard Stark flashback. But yeah, the first watch through, I didn't hear it because I only had my right headphone on, and the whisper is only in the left.
That's
side
probably
of
what happened to me, EliteAri. That's crazy. On God.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So if you put it on, you'll hear Bran say,
There's no way you actually heard Bran.
No, but I'm just gonna assume it's Bran because like it's way cooler if you assume.
We're gonna talk about Bran erasure in about 5 minutes, EliteAri, maybe less, but we'll get to that. Whatever. Oh my God, never mind. We're getting it to it now. Unless you have something else to say about this dorky guy.
Well, he was a traitor. Actually, it was kind of funny. I wasn't expecting that at all.
But Daemon's on his side at this point. He's gonna have a vision that'll change his mind, EliteAri. Now, EliteAri, let me just read out this fucking thing. And then we'll talk about... Because if you don't think we're talking about it frame by frame, EliteAri, you got another thing coming, pussy.
No, I would want to, yeah.
Now, let's see. Where does this end? No, I'm going to interrupt myself after the second line. Why are we pretending, EliteAri? Daemon has the vision that all the leaks were talking about. Is this the Song of Ice and Fire vision? I think so. He sees a green man and blood raven, and a three-eyed crow and White Walkers and a comet and Dany, but not Bran, and Rhaenyra on the throne. Twitter argument, Dany didn't speak. We love the original show, and Helena is force projecting herself. It's all a story, she says. Did you like my Star Wars reference? The most weirwoody we've ever been, even in the original show. Alice says Daemon... I guess we'll talk about that afterwards. So, EliteAri, first of all, a green man. You don't know what that is, EliteAri, but before...
I was trying to think what you were saying.
Before the vision, he, like, sees him walking by the weirwood, and EliteAri, and these books.
Yes, that is true.
Because at first I thought, because I knew there was a White Walker, and I'm pretty sure I had actually seen the screenshot of the White Walker we end up seeing, but I think I had forgotten that when I was watching it. And I was like, is that the White Walker that everybody's mad about? And then it was like, and then I was like, no. And I didn't realize it was a green man until I read a comment on Twitter like ages ago. But a green man, EliteAri. A green man is a person that lives on the Isle of Faces in the middle of the island that we never see. Howland Reed, he went to, you don't remember who that is. I remember we had an argument about that one time.
Yeah, I remember him. He was the dad of the guy who was
True,
Bran,
and he was,
right?
and he knows about R plus L equals Dre and some crazy shit, EliteAri, and he made everything happen, and he's also the High Septon or something. Remember that funny video from Alt Shift X? No, you don't, EliteAri.
I don't remember him being the High Septon, but
he wasn't, EliteAri. It was a funny theory, and everybody was making fun of it, and now it's become a meme theory that you're an idiot if you believe. Quentin Martell is alive, you know. Now, green men live on the Isle of Faces, and they're supposed to be like green little men or something. Now, we never get to see them and stuff, and they're mysterious, and like because it's like, oh, some people say they're little green men. Some people say they're just like the reeds, which means they're a little short, and because, you know, they say the reeds have like a webbed hand or whatever, but that's not true. That's just a legend or something. And
wouldn't the implication just be that they're the children of the forest?
But no, apparently they're very different because the children of the forest in the Bran chapters, EliteAri, they be talking about the green men like that ain't them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So is it like another little weird mystical creature? But it's not that hard to get to that fucking Isle of Faces, EliteAri. So somebody's got to have gone over there and seen him at some point. Do they like punch you in the water or something, if you know? And then that Reed Castle, EliteAri, what's it called? Greywater Watch? Oh my God, EliteAri, oh my fucking God. Apparently that castle moves because it's on shifting sands or something. But that sounds like magic to me. And you know, they got crocodiles in there, but they call them land lizards or water lizards or something. It's a funny name because they don't call them alligators or crocodiles in the book, EliteAri. It's pretty cool. God, it's not that, but it's cool. And now I want to stop everything and think if I can remember the name, but I can't. Oh, are they called like land? It might be lions, not lizards. Anyway, river lions, something. Anyway, shut up. And yeah, so that's a green man Illyri, and I couldn't believe they actually showed one. That's crazy. He was wearing a little horned hat. We didn't actually see his face to see if it was green.
Well, yeah, he also disappeared randomly. So
yeah, because it was
maybe
like
he
a
was never
fake out
there.
or something. But also, they're right on that island over there.
Yep.
Crazy. Well, that was part one. That was before the vision even happened. And then he put his hand on the thing, and the sap went all over it, EliteAri. We never got nothing like this in the original show. It's just book stuff, you know?
Wait, well, I guess, yeah.
Bran would just
but we
touch
have
it,
seen
there
the
was no
trees
sap.
crying, right?
Yeah, the trees cry, but it's sometimes that's like dried sap, I think.
Yeah, it's because they cried in the past, you know. But we're seeing it cry actively now.
But it was like, yeah, it was like somebody activated it. That Alice bitch, she's a crazy Bran substitute.
Well, she would be the equivalent of Jojen Reed, right, in this situation, like guiding the more important three-eyed raven figure here.
But Jojen Reed didn't really know shit. But also,
yeah, but he was like a guide who was manipulated by the three-eyed raven, which is what I feel like this is what was her name? Jane, whatever.
Alice.
What was it? Alice. What was her name? Alice, bro. I don't know where Jane came from.
Jane Westerling is Rob's wife in the book. You remembered her?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I feel like she is. I mean,
Jean Grey.
It kind of feels like she
X-Men.
is working. Yeah, maybe that was what I was. No, actually, it's not what I was thinking. She's working with the three-eyed raven, basically, or being controlled by him. But,
well, yeah, also anyway. Three-eyed raven, you know, not born yet.
Wait, what do you mean? It was in the vision. It was right there.
But that was when we were seeing future stuff. You're stupid. Now,
no, that was the present.
EliteAri, you're just factually wrong. You're a moron.
I'm just factually right.
Anyway, Green Man EliteAri. Wait, I was gonna say something else about something you just said, but you're an idiot.
All right.
And I'm never going to recall.
Can I give my overall thoughts on this before we go frame by frame, I guess?
Okay.
I think it's like, it was really cool to see it. Like, I was not expecting this, obviously, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're actually going to see Bran. We didn't see Bran, which is fine, but we saw the three-eyed raven. There was a bunch of cool imagery, a bunch of stuff which is I'm going to ask you about because it's a bit ambiguous.
Imagery's epic, EliteAri. I love imagery and visions. They're so cool.
Yeah. Now, I assume this is going to be the only time we really get something like this, because it's like they've done it once, they don't want to keep doing it over and over again. But it would be cool if they did it again. Now, I'm just thinking, why did they choose the lamest stuff to show us? Like, why not show something we haven't seen before? Like, something interesting, you know? Like, why show us the White Walkers, which we've seen? Show Daenerys, which we've seen? Like, show even the three-eyed raven, which we've seen? Why not show us, like, something cool, like Valyria? Or, like, show us, like, the future? Like, show us Bran, like, or, like, Drogon flying over Essos on his own after season 8 or something. Like, show us something new and cool and... Like, why show us the exact same stuff? Even though I really liked seeing it, I just wish they showed us like, why not show us the Land of Always Winter or like something really, like a really interesting, like something that just hasn't been.
Then you would have to make it up.
Yeah, but you can do. Like, it's a metaphorical vision.
George.
Like,
he's not gonna finish these fucking books, Leary. He's gonna die tomorrow. Give us some answers, old man. You
and the freedom you have in this situation, Kyle, because these are all metaphorical. You could just make up something that kind of looks really cool and slightly resembles something interesting, like Valyria or the Land of Always Winter. And then just, or even just show like
EliteAri, what if we saw Valyria and the volcano blowing up, but it wasn't actually a volcano.
Or we could do like, you know how there's that whole theory about how, oh my god, the Land of Always Winter is connected to the edge of Essos or something because there's like weird traditions that are like overlap. Why don't you show like a big like zoom out map or something and it's like showing a globe, or like do some really interesting metaphorical visuals that are
EliteAri on that whole the east side where the lands connect in that theory you were just talking about. They have 5 little thingies that are like supposed to be their wall. It's crazy and stuff. Why didn't we see those?
True.
No, what we should have seen, EliteAri, establishing shot. Dragons flying everywhere, and they're in technologically advanced cities, you know, because that's what Tyrion and Varys were talking about. Valyria they were like Roman stuff. They were in the future. But actually, you listen to Preston Jacobs and you realize they were actually in our future because that's epic, epic theory. Yep. And so we're seeing it with smartphones and stuff. And then, EliteAri, in the slave mines, you just see this one guy, he's getting whipped, and he's doing a thing, and then he takes his face off. It's a faceless man, and then boom, it explodes, and then we're cutting to something else.
So sick.
And then we're cutting to the White Walkers, and then the children of the forest
so I guess
made them, so there's nothing to do there, and you're an idiot if you like White Walkers.
No, it's very cool. We like the White Walkers, but imagine just... Anyway,
why don't we see children of the forest? What are we doing here?
Yeah, anyway, basically what I wanted to say is that when I'm watching this vision, with a few exceptions that I'm going to ask you about, I feel like we already, and except for like maybe the book readers know a little bit more, I feel like we already know exactly what Daemon is seeing here. And there's no like speculation of like, oh, what was this? Like, is this hinting at something really interesting or not? I feel like we have a decent idea that this is all about the story of Game of Thrones and the ending of A Song of Ice and Fire. And like, there's nothing to speculate on or even be like, oh, that was really cool. Is that what this means or this means? But it's too clear and it doesn't show anything new and interesting. And I'm glad we saw
Yeah.
it, and it's probably like the coolest thing in this episode. I thought it was really cool.
I think
But it was like, God, like you could have done actually something really cool, but you didn't for some reason.
there is kind of like this terrifying, like, to me, this, like, what do you call it when you're like the inverting into a smaller thing, EliteAri? What do you call that?
Where
You
you're
know?
like self-referential and stuff.
No. It's everything. I think my biggest fear is that there's so many cool mysteries that in this silly book series, EliteAri, and I think the most terrifying thing is that it's all just White Walkers and dragons. Like, why did Aegon originally come to Westeros? In the beginning of Fire and Blood, there's a lot of speculation, like, oh, he went to Lannisport, and it's like, did he just want wealth, or what did he want? No, actually, he saw the White Walkers and he wanted to come to beat them. And there's like a million mysteries like that of like, why did the Valyrians want? Because there's even like there's like in the middle part of this book, there's like a thing about where do dragons come from, and there's like, which is another cool thing we could have seen. There's like wyverns that exist naturally, and then there was like fireworms, and did these fucking old Valyrians merge them or something, and that's how dragons are made? We could have seen how dragons were made or something. Something like that, and it's like, oh, that's a cool mystery, and it's like, why would they do that? Did they just want power? Did they have some sort of science knowledge or something, or crazy magic? No, they just saw that they needed to kill him for White Walkers. And it's like, oh no, are we doing everything is just like, oh, what is going on with the three-eyed crow? Why does gotta get the White Walkers, and why the White Walker? And it's like, oh, because so that's kind of like the thing of like, is everything in this universe just like supplemental to this White Walker stuff? Now, EliteAri is like, I love White Walkers, but I'm like, I fucking hate White Walkers. Fuck the White Walkers.
This is great,
do something
Kyle.
cool.
I love it.
Have Tywin do something.
Okay. Another thing I was going to say, Kyle, is that just because you get an answer, it doesn't mean that it's going to take away the mysteries. And sometimes the best answer is one that opens up even more questions. And I don't know, just because the White Walkers are behind everything, it doesn't mean that there isn't something more interesting.
It's not even that the White Walkers are behind everything, it's that Bran is behind everything.
Yeah, but that's even cooler. Oh my gosh.
The Bran stuff can be cool. I'm not even sad about that, because he's literally Okabe Rintaro, and that could be fun. Yeah. Like, we got to see a bunch of different alternate timelines where he's like, man, in this one I really try to save my brother, but, you know, he's just gonna die at this wedding, and my mother, and she's gonna, you know, that's just crazy, and that could be a cool character moment. But even that is, like, sacrificing everything for Bran. Like, I don't know. And it is, because another massive complaint that I've seen from Preston and Carmine and all these people or whatever is that, like, you're just, like, with all this stuff, and this goes back to the first episode when they originally brought up the Song of Ice and Fire thing, is, like, you're just reminding people of, like, the bad show. And it's like, oh, this whole prequel that we're all liking and trying to, like, get the bad taste of our mouth out of the old show is actually just, like, oh my God, one day we're going to get to that show that we all hated. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Well, maybe they're gambling on the idea that maybe the books will be finished one day, and it's actually for a really complicated, like, book ending.
Because they put Bloodraven in it, even though Bloodraven isn't in the show. Or are they just going to pretend that didn't happen? Because what we see next, EliteAri, even though what do you want to say something before I say what?
No, with the Bloodraven stuff, you got to clarify again for me. So in the books, you're saying that he was actually a Targaryen that comes later, right?
Yes. Now, EliteAri.
So, but in the show, we don't know, right?
Well, hold on. In the original show, remember they recast him because at the end of season 4, he's like an old man with a thing, and he looks really old. And then later, he's Max von Sydow, and he's cool and stuff. Yeah. But he has a line where he says, I've been here for thousands of years or something, which would make it so that they changed it. Because Bloodraven EliteAri is going to be in Dunk and Egg.
Not necessarily, right?
So I'm pretty sure the actor that they've put in this scene is going to be in Dunk and Egg. And another difference is he has a massive scar on his face. On, like, the side of his face that they showed.
Which looks exactly like a crow as well, which was so cool. When the crow flew past and it looked like it, I was like, this is sick. Oh my god.
The crow had
like
3 eyes, EliteAri. This crazy.
Yeah, oh my god.
Brother. That's like Bran and stuff. But, so yeah, what happened to Max von Sydow's fucking scar, EliteAri? So I think are we doing a thing where this is actually book canon, brother? And, like, or we're actually not even in the same universe as the show, but then why do we have the same dagger? Are we just... It is easy, because it is just one line that Bloodraven in the show says. Because I think they
Which you can explain away by just saying he's the three-eyed raven, he's lived for thousands of years in the memories of, like, other people.
But what happened to his scar, and why does he look different?
Because in that moment, it's not Bloodraven speaking, it's the three-eyed raven, right?
But the
Blood, whatever his name is.
Well, yeah, that's also funny, because they call it the three-eyed raven in the show for no reason, even though in the book it's a three-eyed crow. It's a different thing. But also, the three-eyed, like, it's just Bran, right?
Well, it took over Bran, right? So it wasn't Bran at the end, at least in the show. I don't know what's going to happen in the book, but the idea is that at the end there is no agency for Bran. If it is, it's like a very minor agency. The Three-Eyed Raven's memories and experiences have flooded his mind more so than Bran ever did, right? So I feel like in that moment at the end, it's not Bran anymore, really. It kind of is, but not really.
Well,
He's
yeah, it
like one
doesn't
of
have like
many
his
lifetimes.
personality, but I think it's just like the guy with all the knowledge of the world and stuff.
No, I think it's like a collection of knowledge. It's like there is no blood. I mean, maybe it could be a King Fritz situation where like the founding titan is always that first king's will, and maybe there was an original three-eyed raven and his will is the one that's enacted throughout all of history. Or it could be that it's just the accumulation of all these different souls, and there is no person who is the three-eyed raven. It's just a bunch of people's memories that are all tied together.
I guess it depends if, like, in Dunk and Egg, which Bloodraven isn't the main character in that, so I don't know why we would see this. But if he goes up there and, like,
cool.
There's another guy that he takes over from, then I guess... But I think there's definitely an implication in the book that he's, like, the first one, because he goes up because he gets banished. I guess this is Dunk and Egg spoilers. He gets banished to the wall and becomes the Lord Commander, and then goes missing one day north of the wall and ends up on his weirwood throne there. And then I think in the book they say that, like, oh yeah, I met the children and they said come here. Because there's a cool theories in the book, EliteAri, that the children are the actual bad guys and they're just manipulating these guys, which is kind of the point I want to get to at the... But we have to wait for the Alicent scene to talk about that, I guess. What were we arguing about? I was destroying you.
Bloodraven and how his significance and identity.
Yeah.
What's his actual name? Brendan something?
Brendan Rivers, because he's a little bastard, EliteAri. He's not a real Targaryen like you and me.
Crazy.
But yeah, I think they must have cast him. I think there was news that they cast him in Dunk and Egg. But that would be funny, because it's like, oh... Part of it's like, oh, they're just trying to shill their next show, EliteAri. This is disgusting marketing. But also epic, brother.
Well, I'm very excited for Dunk and Egg, knowing that he's in it, because that's like, I love
EliteAri didn't watch the 5-second trailer that we got, everybody. You know, he's an embarrassment to you and I.
I'll watch it on stream, so check out EliteAri next time I stream.
No, you're going to watch it live for us now. No, because I don't want to set up the thingy to make so we can see him react. We see White Walkers, and the White Walkers look a little different. Now, EliteAri, I did think we were...
Let me just say, Kyle, it's clearly this is meant to be that one White Walker that we see that I think Jon Snow kills in like...
Yeah.
It's the one that Jon kills in Hardhome. And it just looks so much worse here. I was like, what? Why? Why couldn't... This is like the same production people, right?
I kind of like its face looking weird and different.
It looks so... Yeah, but it's clearly meant to be the same White Walker. Why would you have it look so different? Like,
but no, it's not meant to be the same White Walker. I don't believe it. The show doesn't exist. Now...
Yeah.
I thought we were doing something cool, because after this, there's, like, a battle and, like, a dead dragon on the ground, and what I thought was this White Walker walking, like, over it and stuff, and there was, like, puddles and stuff, and, like, oh my god, that's a White Walker battle we didn't see in the original show. Maybe this is a teaser for the book or something, or maybe this is the different whole thingy, and this is a different thingy, and different
I did want to ask about this.
But I think
like,
it's
is this meant
Daemon.
to be Drogon? Not Drogon, Viserion or whatever, or... Like,
I think it's Daemon in a future battle, and he's like, because after that he falls into the water and is like drowning. So I'm like, oh, it's just Dance of the Dragon stuff. I thought this was a White Walker dude.
Well, because
we are progressively going through time, I think. Well, Bloodraven is like 50 or 60 years after this, or maybe more. Maybe 80. I don't remember. EliteAri, shut your mouth. So I think we were progressively going into the future, and that's why we see the Comet and then Dany next and stuff. But then we see Rhaenyra at the end, so this isn't true, EliteAri. Why didn't you say that?
True.
The shot of the Comet was cool, EliteAri. That was pretty cool. You remember the Comet from season 1 and 2 of Game
I
of
do
Thrones?
Indeed. I remember season 2, episode 1, where everyone was looking at it from different perspectives. It was pretty cool.
It means dragons, boy. It actually means Stannis is the real king. It actually means, and everybody was like doing a different, it actually means, and it was like, this is just dumb. It's just a comment, and they're all giving it meaning. But then we're kind of giving it meaning here, or is that the point, EliteAri? Is that this is just one of the stupid meanings, and all these dreams are stupid and wrong, and oh my god, I got the first battery warning, EliteAri. What the fuck are we doing here?
Oh god, we got so much more to talk about this vision. Okay, well, what about the fact that when the White Walkers are marching, firstly, which that implies that that's like when they march into the wall, I guess, but you're saying it's chronological, so it doesn't make sense. But also, the fact that when they're marching, when we watch them, we're in the perspective of like a dog or something that's chasing like to them, which
Yeah,
is
is
kind of
that
cool.
Bran's wolf, I guess? Summer? Or
Why would it
Ghost?
be so? How would that make any sense?
Well, I don't know. Is it a different one?
Well, it'd be someone who's charging into certain death. So I don't know. I mean, it could be like something crazy, like it's not a dog and it's actually Benjen's horse or something. Um, because I can't imagine none of the weird. What are they called? What are the dire wolves or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Um, none of the ones we know ever interact with White Walkers except for the Brand's one who just dies, but that's in the cave. So I don't know. I can't imagine it being anyone we know. It could be
Well,
Nymeria after we saw it. We never saw her again. I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck off. How about that?
Hey, you're the book reader. You meant to tell me, like, oh my gosh, it's actually this one.
I
And
think it was
someone
literally
is.
supposed to be like, oh my god, that's what Bran used to do. This is crazy. You're not supposed to think about it.
No, I think it's a choice they made when they were directing this vision, which is to show the shot of the White Walkers through the perspective of you walking into an animal that is charging to them. So you're saying that it's just some random animal that like Bran has walked into, maybe.
No, I
Or oh
think
no,
it's
I'm
you're
an
not
idiot.
supposed to
I'm an
think about
idiot.
it.
Oh my god, it's the Raven.
No, it
Wait,
could
he's
be.
walked in the Raven, and the Raven's flying
But
towards him.
it
That's
did
what it
seem
is.
like it had like footsteps the way they were filming it.
Actually, you're right. I went back and watched it. It is footsteps. I don't. Okay, I don't know. It's ambiguous. Okay, I like this. Good. We like this kind of stuff.
Hold on. Doesn't the prologue for the fifth book is a guy named Verimar Sixskins, who's the best warg in the world besides Bran, and I think that chapter ends with him and his group getting killed by White Walkers. There's no way they're doing that though, and he has like a leopard and a dog and a something and a something, and they would probably charge at them. I probably stretched it, but I had an
Mm.
idea, so maybe I have no fucking clue. Not in the
I'll
show.
buy it. That's my canon. Was there
Um,
ever in the opening scene of A Game of Thrones? Did they have an animal with them?
they
I
had
don't remember.
horses, but I don't think that's
No,
a
it'd be
horse.
like a dog or something.
No, it could just be. Well, I guess a bunch of wildlings are wargs, right? So it could just be them fighting any sort of wildling.
True.
Common
So
and
then,
burning
okay, yep.
stuff. Yeah,
Continue.
go ahead, Illyri. That's the recap. And then Rhaenyra on the throne, crazy.
So I guess my big takeaway, which I'm sure you're going to disagree with, so please don't shut me down too harshly, Kyle, but the whole appeal of this kind of made all the Daemon stuff really interesting to me. The fact that I didn't truly think that this was going to tie into the Three-Eyed Raven stuff at all. To me, this makes it feel like the Three-Eyed Raven has been inducing these dreams into Daemon to manipulate him down a certain path so that eventually the Song of Ice and Fire will turn out in his favor, which I think is kind of interesting because it takes away a lot of Daemon's agency. And it also reframes that Daemon is kind of his entire arc here is slowly being broken down by the Three-Eyed Raven, basically. I don't really have like a big grand thing here, but I just like the idea that Daemon is not in control here and someone is manipulating him to a grander end. I think it's an interesting story element.
Because, this is another thing everybody's complaining about, is about how, well, now Daemon just does it, and he didn't even choose to be on Rhaenyra's side. It was just made for him and stuff. It's also another thing where the good guys just are, like, emboldened with, like, a godly purpose, so they must fight this war. Like, Rhaenyra wouldn't want to do any
Sure.
of this. She would have run away with fucking Kristen Cole in episode 4 if it wasn't for this stupid vision. So it kind of makes it less morally ambiguous or interesting. Then there's like, Daemon didn't even do any of this stuff, and now his choices have been made for him. What the fuck, agency?
Yeah, and also, I don't know how this will tie into the whole overarching when you get to the end of A Fire and Blood or whatever, the end of this whole series. But you're portraying now at this point that the Targaryens themselves are a piece in a larger game, right? Where people, these actual leaders who we think are the ones who are commanding the small folk and the pieces to move in their favor, they're actually the ones being puppeted here. Like the Three-Eyed Raven and anyone working with him is kind of shepherding them toward a certain outcome. So they don't really have a say in who's going to win this big war in the end. It's going to be the Three-Eyed Raven is going to win, or whoever he wants to win in the end.
But also, they
I
don't
don't
even
know. I
help
have no
win
idea
in
how
the end,
this.
right? Arya just does.
Well, no. I'm saying at the end of this. No. That's absolutely not true. The Three-Eyed Raven is trying to manipulate all the events so that Arya can get in the position to kill the Night King, right? Well, even actually, I don't even think that's the case. Wait a minute. I think the Three-Eyed Raven might be doing that, or he might also be shepherding the world so that he is the king at the end of the whole story. That might be another thing. I don't know. it depends on how the book ends, obviously. But he obviously has been moving events in the past. That's why he visits the past and does things.
Stop being a
So I don't
cuck.
know.
Just say Bran, bro. Just say Bran.
Well, Brandon and the Three-Eyed Raven are like the same entity at this point. So I don't know. What was I saying? What were we arguing about?
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm correct, basically. Anyway, let's continue
That
on.
could never possibly be true. Oh my god, we're gonna go
Oh
flat.
my god, almost one more thing. She said, or someone said, it's all a story. I think it was Helena who said that.
Yes.
Which reminded me of the end when Bran is the king because he has the best story.
That's exactly what they're doing. But that's like everybody's least favorite thing to ever exist. And
I like it. I think it's the coolest thing.
I think, you know what's interesting,
we'll
EliteAri, is Ryan Condal, the showrunner, was like, he was like third in charge of the original show. So it is possible that he just doesn't think the end of the original show is bad, which would be funny.
No,
and I hope he thinks that.
He would know. You can't be that oblivious to think that at least the overwhelming majority of people don't like the ending of that show.
He might think that everybody dislikes it, but he'll probably be like, well, this is how I'll show them that it was actually good.
I think if anything, he might have had meetings with George, for instance, or heard information directly from George where he thinks that the show maybe didn't execute those ideas perfectly, but he thinks he has a better way to like make those ideas reality. Like the idea of Bran having the most important story, which could be an interesting thing, especially the fact that he has like the first chapter in the first book.
Especially if he starts Okabe reinterrowing everything, that'd be epic.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe he has better, or what he thinks is a better approach to these grander questions or higher plot points that George gave him. I don't know, but I'm interested. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about, Kyle.
Now, we'll keep this in because I don't want to edit shit. But if we go flat, do you just want to start recording and then you can send it and I'll stitch it together? And I'll go on my little phone.
All right, if you want.
Well, we're not going to finish it, EliteAri, so...
We'll
see. Well, the most weird-woody we've ever been. Comet was epic. Daenerys was there, but Emilia Clarke definitely said, I don't want to do this shit, fuck off. And so they were just doing a shot of her from behind that vaguely looked like her.
It was kind of cool, though. It
was cool, and her fucking theme played EliteAri, and Eric Whiteley came.
True, yep. And they had the same dragons. You got the same actors for those. That was crazy.
True.
All these years later.
Yes, and then Rhaenyra was on the throne of EliteAri. Does that mean Rhaenyra is going to win in the end? Crazy.
It does seem to imply something like that, yeah.
But then Helena says later that Aegon will be king again.
She says that he will sit on a throne of wood or something, which I was like...
Was she talking about fucking Bran there, EliteAri?
Well, no, I assumed that because we saw a blonde guy on a chair who obviously is the Three-Eyed Raven, but I was like, is that meant to be Aegon? Is he like the one sitting on this wooden throne in the middle of the like?
That would be a massive.
The wall?
That would be an epic change if they have Aegon just go up north and then Bloodraven eventually takes over from him, and then Max von Sydow comes later. Oh my god! And then we fix it all.
So that's what's gonna happen. That's what she was saying. The wooden throne. So that's it.
The Eyrie also has a wooden throne.
I actually didn't know that. What else has wooden thrones, Kyle? I guess is the Corlys's is his little throne wood?
No, I think it's the sea stone chair, right? So that's a stone.
Right, that makes sense. He could be on a ship. A ship has a bunch of wooden chairs or something.
The driftwood throne. That's the Greyjoys. That's Euron's. That's probably
true. He could be a Greyjoy.
Oh my god, that's like how Euron has that one line in the book that implies that maybe he's working for the Night King or something. EliteAri. That was crazy.
Yep. What about the Night's Watch? Does the Night's Watch have a wooden throne for the Lord Commander? I wonder. Maybe
he's got a bed. That's wood.
Yep. So who knows? But more importantly, Kyle, apparently, at the beginning of this season, we got the prediction that you will die in this place in an American accent to Daemon. And also, apparently, Aemon is going to die in this.
He's going to be swallowed by the gods.
Isle of something. Yeah, crazy. So I'm assuming, this just reinvigorates my giant theory I've had this entire season, which is that Aemon and Daemon, they're going to fight at Harrenhal for some reason. And I guess maybe they're both going to die is what I'm kind of taking from this now. I don't know.
In a grand duel. It'll be crazy.
Yep.
What was I going to say that you were talking about 10 seconds ago?
But then...
Go ahead.
What would happen? I'm sure the show addresses this, Game of Thrones, I mean. What do they do with the corpses of the dragon? Oh, no, I guess they put them under the Red Keep, right?
Yeah,
they
have the skulls or whatever. No, the skulls go into the throne room, and then when Robert takes over, he says, I fucking hate dragons, and he puts them in the dungeon.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
The, fuck, EliteAri, I was going to say something genius. What were you talking about? Alice Rivers?
Aemon and
No, it was before that. It was the
Daemon, the
point
God's
right
Eye.
before that. God's Oh,
Aemon's
Helena.
in a
So
chair.
Helena was like
Yep.
acting out the vision on the balcony. I saw a lot of people
Yeah,
making
she was
fun of that.
actually. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
So what do you think?
Why were they
What
making
do you
fun
think
of it?
happened to Helena? Do you think Bran was just like, well, this is the girl I'm gonna go into? And then how much does Alice Rivers know? What is going on with these people?
I still don't think Alice Rivers is real. So I don't know. I feel like if anything, she could be a real person that is occasionally, every now and then, completely taken over by the three-eyed raven.
It is just like a religion, right? It's like what people think religion is now, where it's just like, well, God told me, brother, so that's why I'm up on it, so I just do what he says.
Oh, no. Okay, maybe for Helena. For Alice Rivers, I feel like they literally walk into her mind or something. Like, he creates a new person whenever he is in control of her. Like, she doesn't exist. When she's not with Daemon, she's just an ordinary person who isn't, like, doing anything. She's just, like, doing her duty. She's cooking the food. But whenever she's with Daemon, the three-eyed raven has taken her over completely. That's what I'm guessing.
He's still doing this propaganda thing where he refuses to say Bran, everybody, and I don't like
because Bran is God. Kyle,
Bran is
there's
real.
Two, okay, no. Let me clarify here. I'm gonna explain what I mean. Whenever I refer to Bran, I'm referring to Bran before the three-eyed raven took over, and he was in that little cave, and he was going back and influencing like Eddard Stark and Hodor and all them. When it's like we literally see Bran in the past, that's Bran. After that episode, for instance, in Game of Thrones, when he merges basically and the three-eyed raven propels himself into Bran's mind, there is no more Bran.
No,
From
that's
that
not what
moment
happened.
onwards,
Bran just learned a bunch of things.
Well, then who are you, Kyle? Are you just you're a collection of your memories, right, and experiences. And if you had the experiences and memories of all these countless past people who are influenced by the three-eyed raven.
Spirit jumped. That just means the three-eyed raven doesn't exist. It's just a concept of the memory of humanity. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Exactly, which means that Bran doesn't exist anymore because Bran is now the concept of the memory of humanity. So
true, but it's not like there's this evil three-eyed raven jumping bodies. That's just a concept.
I don't mean he's evil,
That's
but
not
he is jumping bodies.
Yeah, I said evil to make you sound stupider because I'm arguing in bad faith. Oh my god, EliteAri, I got the second battery warning. That means I should probably end the thingy, and we'll be right back in a second.
Alright.
That's what I'm going to... Oh my god, everybody, we're back! But now my sound like shit, EliteAri. That's not good.
True.
But these are the lengths we go to. Usually only a great Black Lagoon or Black Sails discussion would get such treatment. But here, why don't we just make you record the whole thing, EliteAri? That would have been super duper easy.
You can record it yourself.
No.
Alright. Well, we're done anyway, so.
Oh. No, we're not. We were talking about Alice says, well, only for the last episode, since we knew it was going to go on forever. Not the whole season. Anyway. What a silly idiot, you know, chat? What are we doing here? Yeah. Alice Rivers was not a person, you were saying. Bran's just hacking her mind every once in a while.
Yeah, the three-eyed
raven. We don't like that, not one bit. Alice says Daemon came... Oh, this is a good, important part of EliteAri that we already kind of talked about. Oh, I scrolled down, EliteAri. Let me just re-find my place. Alice says Daemon came? I didn't write good. Came her, and I think I meant here, selfish. I think she says as a closed fist. Well,
I like that
metaphor. Epic. Yeah. Like the fist of the first men. Were we referencing that? I don't know. Selfish and of his own will, but after the vision, he seems more dutiful and in touch with fate. So basically, she's saying, Daemon, you've always tried to forge your own path and decide your own fate. I think she literally says fate at some point. But afterwards, he's like, well, now I must serve the great cause of my god, Bran, and fight the White Walkers. It's all a culty religion, EliteAri. You ever think about that?
Yeah, it very much was. He even says how he implies that he was broken down here when she's like, are you shaking or something? And he's like, oh, not anymore. And she's like, that pleases me. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my god. Oh, I think in the leaks also, I don't know if this is fake or I just made this up. I swear they fucked in the leaks, but that's what people were telling me. Okay. So I thought that was epic, but that never ended up happening.
It doesn't sound too crazy.
Bran's got the hots for Daemon. Crazy. Now, it's a little small on my screen, EliteAri, so, now I gotta find my place again, it's a little difficult.
Are we just talking about the Daemon stuff still? Like the stuff afterwards, or are we doing this later?
I'm about to bring that up because he's more like dutiful and like into fate and then I have written down here, which is what happens when Rhaenyra shows up and he bends the knee. We see the Isle of Faces for the first time ever. True, when Adam and Rhaenyra are flying in, we kind of see the island. There's just like a bunch of weirwoods on it. We don't really see anything too interesting, but we've never seen that in any book or show. So we actually got a semi-close-up look of what maybe it looks like.
That's very cool. I didn't notice it. I'll have to go back and see.
It wasn't the full thing. It was just like the side of it in focus. So, you know. Anyway. Oh my god, why EliteAri, the craziest thing of all time just happened.
Oh, I see it in the picture. But yeah, go ahead, please. Yep.
Oh, shut up. So my laptop's over there, and I turned it and I shut it and doing the thingy, and then all of a sudden everything's on it. I just put the microphone on top of it, and for 1 second, EliteAri, the microphone lit up again.
Uh-oh.
And then went off. I think I'm gonna die.
It's the ghost of Harren the Black.
I think it was probably the laptop actually going flat, so it just flashed for a second and then went back. Whatever, that was the freakiest thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Bran was coming. He's in my microphone, EliteAri. What everything I've said in this review was not me, it was Bran.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
I'll tell you, it's some weird religion. Anyway. And then I skipped over that whole thing, I guess, and just said Aemon interrupts Helaena force projecting. Oh my god, why haven't you laughed at my joke yet?
Because it's more like a Stranger Things 11 in the Upside Down than it is a force projection in the last.
I don't know what force projecting is. That's just something people say, and I thought I would say.
You know, it's something Luke does, and people hate it sometimes. People love it sometimes.
No, isn't it what? Remember when like all the guys are like standing behind Luke in the final scene or something, and it's like Anakin from the prequels or something, in the when he did later cuts? Isn't that force projecting?
That's a force ghost, and also that doesn't happen. But yeah. True.
Oh my god!
You're probably thinking about some fan edit. Okay.
Sure. No, I'm sure that happens in the versions of the movies I've seen.
Okay, cool.
We got all the time in the world, EliteAri. We can talk about Star Wars if you want.
But our poor fans are a bit spoiled on Star Wars.
Yes, the great Star Wars. He is the father. Crazy.
Kyle, Simon Strong smiles and claps in the background when he's so relieved that Daemon has sided with Rhaenyra. It's so funny.
Daemon's gonna kill that motherfucker next episode. This motherfucker.
I sure hope not. No, he'll never find out. Rhaenyra will protect our innocent favorite character, I'm sure.
Now, EliteAri, you know, I'm always saying I don't really know how Simon Strong. I swear he might be mentioned for one line in this book, but I think I figured out that he's going to die next season, and I'm very sad.
I sure hope not. I hope he lives a long life. I mean, he's already lived a long life. I guess he can die.
He needs to leave with Daemon, all right? He needs to leave with Daemon, but he's not. He's fat. He's not going riding to war. Oh, no. Anyway, I will cry. Imagine that. Could they kill any character you would care about morally, or name one?
Yeah, I guess not.
Not even one. Now,
they could kill Baela, and I'd be sad.
Baela's kind of cool, I guess, but no Simon Strong. Now, he wants her to come with him to Harrenhal. This is Aemon to Helaena, and she tells him that he will die of the God's Eye, and she knows he burnt Aegon, and she's slightly upset about it, which was interesting. He does accuse her of treason. Aegon will be king again, she says. Aemon says he could have her killed, but she says it wouldn't change anything. Helaena is talking in past tense here, EliteAri, like she's read this book or something. She's Branified. Bran's hacking her brain, if anybody's brain, EliteAri.
Well, hers is a different situation, because sometimes she's gotten weird, ominous things about the rats or whatever, so I don't know. I think it's a bit different. I think she, if anything, would be... Maybe she is similar to... Actually, let me think deeply, Kyle. There's Bran, who is having dreams that have been induced by the three-eyed raven, right? Because he sees like the three-eyed raven in his dreams. But then there's Jojen Reed, who actually just gets like visions of the future, right? Or is that also...
Well, no, I think he's just from the three-eyed raven. Yeah, he doesn't actually get visions.
So then I don't know what he is.
But then there's like a funny thing in this book, EliteAri, where Jojen Reed is like a really wise-looking bloke, and then immediately after they get past the wall, he becomes like a little kid, and it's like, oh. But then it's like a weird implication of like the person that was controlling him was south of the wall or something. Because also in this book, they say that if you like the wall is like a magic barrier and you can't do the magic from the places to the place. So what the fuck's up with that? Anyway, this book's great, EliteAri. Let's read it. Now, what was your question and why did I divert into that for no reason?
I guess my conclusion of what I was speculating on is that Helaena is probably like she probably has like some power, whatever it is, walking, some dream, some vision, whatever, some crazy power. But then also maybe she is also being involved with the three-eyed raven somehow.
But I feel like innately she has some power that because we've had these weird hints of rats, and I don't know, like why would the Three-Eyed Raven give her visions of rats?
Because it's interesting, yeah. Like if she, because she doesn't like say that she's getting visions. She just seems like she knows, but she hasn't actually talked about it to anybody, so we can't really make any conclusions there. But also, like, if she knows to look for the rats, and the assumption is kind of like that she knew blood and cheese was going to happen, but she doesn't do anything to stop it, which could be like, oh, it's like a Bran situation where like, oh, he knows that his parents are going to die, but he's not going to do anything to stop it because for us to beat the White Walkers, they have to die, and for us to beat the White Walkers, eventually, Helena's kid has to die. And it's like, oh, the suffering that comes along with that, and nobody will understand Bran's. He will struggle more than anybody else, and have the best story.
I do actually like that. I didn't think of it like that. That could be cool if we get like a scene later with more stuff like this from Helena's perspective. I don't know, maybe.
Now again, EliteAri, Helena, nothing like this in the book.
That is
so
true.
They
have
have
heard that
their
from George
thingy.
himself.
Helena is just like a chubby girl that like you feel really bad for because she's not that pretty and Aegon doesn't like her and nobody likes her, and then her ending happens. EliteAri, crazy. But yeah, I have no idea what the fuck they're doing with any of this, EliteAri. You know, because this is another thing with these Twitter arguments, EliteAri. These idiots are getting so mad about very specific things being changed from the book. Everything in this book is being changed, EliteAri. They're unrecognizable. Alicent and Rhaenyra are sisters, EliteAri. What? That's not in this book. That's the whole point of the show. What are they complaining about? Do they not have eyes, EliteAri? They're pissing me off. Well, that's it for all that stuff, EliteAri. So read all your great notes.
For the rest of the episode?
No, just for Daemon stuff, but it sounds like you already said it all.
Yeah, no, that's all I've got. Yep. Crazy.
Did I have other stuff to say? I don't recall, maybe. But, you know, sometimes, EliteAri, you just forget things and you got to hold on to them. Alicent approaches Orwyle for passage and discretion. I had no idea what this meant at this point. EliteAri, I had not an inkling until she showed up at Rhaenyra's house that she was fucking going there. Did you figure it out? No, of course you didn't.
Nope, I figured she was doing another one of her little trips to the lake.
Yeah, or something like that. She was going to see fucking Rhaenyra. This is crazy. Kristen Cole and Gwen Hightower have the best scene of the episode. Cole is accused of sleeping with the queen. They become best friends at the end again. Cole is very depressed. He's the best fighter in the world, but it means nothing.
So explain it to me, Kyle. How the hell did they find out about Kristen?
Now, EliteAri, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, how the fuck do any of these idiots know this?
Yep.
And then I was like, he does have her little handkerchief, and it's like, why would the queen? But it's just her favor, right? You do that. Remember, Rhaenyra and Alicent both did that to the great Kristen Cole in episode 1 when he beat the fuck out of that little pussy Daemon Targaryen.
Yeah.
What an epic guy that Kristen Cole is. And nobody was like, this motherfucker's fucking the Hand's daughter and the King's daughter. We're gonna kill this motherfucker. He ended up doing that, EliteAri. What a champion. I wish I was Kristen Cole for real, for real. So I got no fucking idea, EliteAri. You got any ideas?
No, because I was like, there's no way the show is crazy enough to just like skip out on the scene where something implies that he found out like the brother of Alicent.
Maybe he's just suspected it the whole time and he thought he was going to be accusatory, and then Kristen Cole didn't deny it.
That would just make it a bad scene, I guess, which feels like it comes out of nowhere.
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
but
also,
then, I just accepted that it was like, oh, he just saw the thing, and that confirms it. I bought it. I was like, whatever.
This would all be solved if, say, last episode, if there was a scene where he like has a weird look at Kristen Cole. That's all we would need, like a weird look, a tiny little look.
When initially, but not last episode. Well, I guess when they were leaving, Alicent did look over at him, but there was no hint that Gwen saw it.
It could just be bad directing or like a miscommunication between directors or something. I don't know.
That's what Preston was saying. Remember, he was saying scene to scene, episode to episode, these characters be changing. It is true, EliteAri. That fucking Missaria kissing shit didn't go anywhere, and it will be in next season. But yeah, it's just like, oh, we improv that and forgot that there was 2 episodes afterwards where they're just going to be talking like they were just like acquaintances. I want to see him kissing again.
You know what this is perfect for? Wait, was there like a behind the scenes thing they released?
I'm sure there was.
Now I'm sure they talked about it.
Do you think they talked about that scene at all in that? I'm pretty sure they were talking. We fucking put these White Walkers in, bro. We got the actors back. I said, "What's up?" to my old pal White Walker, and we were chilling and stuff. And then Emilia Clarke said, "Kiss my fucking ass. I want to kill myself what they would talk about. Everybody hates me."
I haven't seen any of the behind the scenes this season.
I haven't seen any of them. I've heard people talking about them, and it's always annoyed me every time when they're confirming shit, and it's just like, shut the fuck up.
What if they're like, oh my gosh,
truly
that
is
voice that said
awful.
traitor, it was Bran's voice. What if they confirm that? That'd be kind of cool.
Why do they do that? It's so bad. I guess that they probably started doing it on the original show because people were like, this show's too confusing. And they were like, well, let's just have the thing afterwards where we explain it. But it's explained in such, like, EliteAri, I've been watching the director's commentary for The Last of Us Part 2 that came out with The Last of Us 2 Remastered. And this Neil Druckmann's talking through this game. But he's just being, it's not like this at all, EliteAri. There's a lot of like, oh, when we shot this scene, I was eating a ham sandwich that day and it was crazy. Because EliteAri, when you're making this shit, you don't give a fuck about these fake characters. You remember all the cool moments you had with your friends on set, and that's kind of funny. But like, I don't know, there's just something different about that where it's like, oh, they're giving you little insights, and like sometimes they do point out little details, and you're like, oh my god, I never realized that Ellie lives in Joel's backyard. That's the house she lives in. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen, heard in my goddamn life, EliteAri. That changed my life. And Neil Druckmann just told me. And then sometimes I'll say like old drafts of things they had and how they had to change the scene from this thing. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. But they're not like, and now in this moment when Daemon gives this longing look, he's actually thinking, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Imagine if they did that for Mad Men, where every episode just ends on somebody ominously looking and you're supposed to interpret it 7 different ways, but they actually just told you the answer.
No,
and also the author's dead, but that's not good enough for EliteAri because I have to deal with fucking morons telling me what it was. I hate morons.
So this is an issue I dealt with pretty recently when it came to Doctor Who, which is that obviously the appeal of the latest season, a lot of it was there was this grand mystery that was going on, right? It spanned the entire season, and in the final episode, I mean, in the penultimate final, like the second last episode, you have a lot of answers, but there's still a lot of questions. And at that point, you're like scouring the rest of the season for all these like answers to these mysteries. Like what are the hints that the writers have laid for us at this point? And I was like forming my opinions on like this one. There was like one discrepancy between 2 scenes where they were like one scene had a tear and one didn't, but they were the exact same scene. And then I looked at the actual script, and the script was written differently to the way that it was directed in the episode. And they were exactly the same scripted in both like particular shots. And I was like, okay, so this is a situation where a behind the scenes writer might have like a different opinion to the episode director. So when they come to doing this like behind the scenes talk, they could be talking about the script they wrote, and they might not be talking about the final execution within the episode. So they might have interpretations that weren't conveyed to the actual director of the particular episode that are more in the scripting phase, which informs like the actual directing, but isn't directly always portrayed there. So I guess that would be my take. Maybe these people, you don't know when these actual behind the scenes things are filmed. They might be done even before the whole season is finished, and they could have different interpretations that are script based rather than like actual show based.
That is true. Your one sounds cool because it's kind of like these are collaborative projects. 2 people that made it think different things. That's kind of an interesting thingy, but that's never how they're presented in this stupid fucking behind the scenes bullshit. It's always just like the one idiot showing up. It's pretty cool when George is on there sometimes, but I don't think they did that for any House of the Dragon episodes. But anyway, George will just be like, Valyria was this old town and, crazy. And then the other idiot will come in and say what the character means. Was it? I'm getting good at impressions.
It's that like, it's the crazy or whatever you said. It sounded just like him. Anyway.
I'll never be able to do it again. That's crazy. Now... True, we were both just making great points. Oh, we were talking about Kristen Cole getting found out. That was, but the scene was great, EliteAri. I loved it. I love these 2.
Yeah. True.
And then they become best friends at the end. It was good acting. Gawain is the best actor. Remember when he had that nice scene with Alicent like 2 episodes ago?
What, telling about the sun? Like, oh, your son is kind.
Oh, yes, the great Daemon. We're going to talk about him later, EliteAri.
Yeah, he's in a cage, guys. In a cage.
Nah, EliteAri. We're nearly up to that.
Okay.
Tell me your predictions yet. It's gonna be crazy. It's cool. He's the best fighter, EliteAri, but he can't do nothing. He's just so depressed. Anyway, Rhaenyra and Alicent meet again and come to a deal where Alicent will forfeit the city and her son/sons. So she and Helena can escape. A son for a son, they say. Alicent admits fault and that she has a lover, but doesn't say it was Cole. This was not as good as their other scene. It comes a little out of nowhere. Not in the book, of course. That's me telling you, EliteAri. Crazy.
I kind of figured, yeah.
Rhaenyra is mean here, ? Rhaenyra asks... I'll just read the whole thing, EliteAri. Right. Rhaenyra asks Alicent to run away with her in episode 1, and Alicent asks her here, is it romantic? ? Alicent bites her fingernails again. Oh my god. Alicent doesn't care about history. like how history's going to remember her. Alicent seems to have freedom, contrasting Daemon and Rhaenyra, ? The visions are a trick to get everybody to kill each other, ? This was me trying to say that, like, oh, Alicent has the good character arc here, and all these visions are bad or something, and Bran's evil or something.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a lot more interesting, and in the book that might happen. It didn't happen in this fucking shit show, though. That's the only way to solve this ? This is the final shot. The final shot does look like that existential painting Preston used for that one video. It's like a painting that means existentialism, EliteAri. That's a philosophy that means there is no God and you choose your own path or something. And Alicent's final shot where she's like looking out at the world and she's just this little figure and she could go and explore it at whatever or something. Did look like that painting. So maybe that's what they're thematically doing. I have no idea. But take me piece by piece through this weird and wacky, not that good scene.
So I enjoy Alicent and Rhaenyra whenever they're talking candidly. It's great. My big issue with their last conversation was that Alicent didn't try when she should have definitely tried to try harder and like solve things without violence. And here she is. She's finally come to the realization that I guess we're done. We should have tried harder. So I don't know. It's fine. I don't have strong thoughts on this. It was a good scene. They're talking to each other. It's like they're kids again. They're both crying. Great.
Is Rhaenyra crying? Is Rhaenyra evil in the scene, EliteAri?
No.
I don't think she was crying. I don't remember.
She was crying. The subtitle said it.
What was she crying about?
I don't know, but she was crying.
Not running away or something? What the? She wasn't crying. You're a liar.
Yeah, she was crying. I'll put it in the comments if you saw her cry. Please, go ahead. I know you're listening right now.
So what about Alicent seems to have freedom?
I like that idea you brought up. I didn't consider it. We could have an interesting ending to this whole story where it ends in tragedy and everyone dies and it's all because of the three-eyed raven and it all gets like it's so sad. All their characters die. I don't know. Who knows? Freedom, cool. I like the idea that Alicent is kind of free of everything. That's all I have to say, Kyle.
This fucking... Because there is like these now, if you listen to the great Preston Jacobs like me, he makes this thing about how every George R. R. Martin story is like the same thing because he's read all of his stuff and it's all about this existentialism idea where there's no God, don't be an idiot, and you gotta go out and you gotta do things, and that's how you'll do a thing. And this visions shit that seems to be the ending of his story, EliteAri, seems to contradict this. Now, in one sense, I'm like based. You try to make this thematic philosophical point, but the real world says, fuck philosophy, you're a bitch and you're gonna die and get manipulated. Now that's a cool like anti-thematic point maybe being made, but that doesn't seem what's happening. But then Bran has like this ultimate like agency thing where he decides everything. So but does that make him God, EliteAri? And but then there's like a other idea of like maybe this is a big manipulation job by the children of the forest manipulating Bran into doing this, and they're evil and they hate humanity because they were the first people on the continent, and then these fucking humans came in and they cut down their trees, EliteAri, and you got to get them back for that. I don't know. I'm trying to save themes here, EliteAri. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, probably.
So Alicent's free and the good guy, and these other idiots think they're so virtuous. And these fucking fans, EliteAri, they all think they're so virtuous. But really, we're doing a switcheroo in the end, and Alicent's the good guy. I love Alicent. She's my favorite. I want this to be true.
But she's letting her son die. Evil.
Sorry, is Rhaenyra evil? Did you give an opinion on that yet, EliteAri? She was kind of mean in this scene, right?
She's mean personally towards Alicent, because she thinks that she rejected her offer for peace, and now she just wants everything, like she always did when she was younger. So now, the issue, I think, is that Rhaenyra in this scene says a son for a son. I'm not quite sure what she means by that. Can you explain that to me?
Because Luke is dead, but Rhaenyra's, like, the whole season she's been like, I don't just want vengeance for my son, that would be silly. But now it seems like she does.
But even then, she knows that Daemon already killed one of Alicent's, like, grandchildren or whatever, right? So like she's already taken a son. Now she's gonna take two sons from Alicent in Aemond and Aegon. Like,
yeah,
I don't quite understand what she's saying here. Because if she is meaning that, then it kind of is. She's definitely portrayed as a bad person here.
Like again, Aegon's like a cripple. Just banish him with Alicent or whatever, because then like the kingdom will see like, oh, she banished him. She didn't just let him live.
No, that's not
But
true.
then
He would have to. He'd have to be killed. He'd have to be. He's a Targaryen with a dragon, and like
it's like a practical. What about a dragon?
he's a dragon. It's out there. We saw it, right?
Well, his dragon's fucked up, even if it's alive, like I spoiled. But like, but then if it's just a son for a son, and because she does specifically say Aegon has to be killed, was she gonna leave Aemond alive? What the? That's not gonna work, stupid. And then Alicent giving up her kids is like some like awesome, extremely radical feminist. Like, fuck them kids. You deserve freedom, girl. Go and get them. And I love that, EliteAri. But like that feels like no mother would actually make that choice. And then like,
of course, a mother could. She did.
Yes, I hate mothers, EliteAri. Why don't I think it?
Okay.
Shut up, EliteAri. But like, does she still hate Aegon? Aegon didn't do nothing that bad, EliteAri. This Aemon idiot's got to go.
Aegon.
Obviously, she's gonna let him die for herself. Well, I guess for Helena too, or the kingdom. I don't know, EliteAri. I can't figure it out. Weird scene, EliteAri. Weird scene. I guess if for the kingdom it makes sense, like, oh, she's like, millions of innocents will die. Because didn't Helena say something like that? And it's like,
yeah,
because Helena was like, oh, it's like I shouldn't really cry for my son when everybody's sons are gonna be toast in a second.
Yes. All right.
I guess everybody's waiting for Rhaenyra to have like the moment when she's like just as bad as everybody else, because the show and Minty like quit this show because Rhaenyra was such a good girl the whole time, especially in season 1. And like, is this the moment? This isn't the fun like it's not very cool moment for it to be this moment. And also she's like, I don't know. I was like completely on Alicent's side the whole time, and I was like, why does Alicent need to say that she was wrong or something? Yeah.
Why were you on Alicent's side? I mean, I understand that she just wants to be done with the violence, right? But so does Rhaenyra. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, but Rhaenyra wanted her to like admit she was wrong, and I'm like,
well, yeah, she does
up, pussy.
Personally, right?
Do this.
Well, I mean, obviously, as someone who is on Rhaenyra's side and thinks that this is entirely Alicent's fault for not trying harder, I think I am on Rhaenyra's side. So Rhaenyra is right here.
Well, you're a proven idiot, EliteAri. What do we care what you think?
Yeah, I guess. Good point. I am recording right now, though, so I have the power. So
anyway. My goodness. Why was I on Alicent's side? I don't remember. I feel like I have to go rewatch this scene to be able to flesh this out more.
Same. We'll just rewatch the whole show. Why not?
Oh my god. After X-Men. Crazy. How did EliteAri know that song? I was disappointed. I wanted him not to know it.
In Ms. Marvel. No, Captain. No, yeah, Ms. Marvel. Crazy.
Oh my god. That was the worst answer you could have given. Now, that's it for that scene. We end on all the armies marching. We see Daemon in his dragon for a second, EliteAri. I think it was green. Did you catch what color it was? Of course you didn't.
No.
Now, initially, EliteAri, that sounded like the setup for a joke, but I made it the setup for a joke in the end because I'm like, this idiot doesn't remember. The Lannisters are moving, EliteAri. Remember the opening of one of those episodes where they just stopped at the Golden Tooth?
Yep, and then we see like a bifurcation in the river, right?
Oh, because we were having the river talk. I didn't even pay attention to that, EliteAri. That's
it.
Crazy.
Just reminded me of the map, and I was like, oh, that must be that thing we looked at.
Yeah, because we were like, why do they have to do this and go that? And then we see the Starks coming down, the twins, EliteAri. Oh my god, I love the original show.
That was really cool to see the Starks. I don't know.
They all look like old guys, but they all look like cool old guys.
That's what they said, right? The graybeard.
Yeah, so the winter wolves and the winter and the and then what else do we see? Otto in prison, EliteAri.
I don't know what this means. I mean, when was? Let me think.
Did Larys do it?
So that's
the only idea I have.
So the last time we saw him, he was dismissed by Aegon, right?
And then he talked to Alicent and said, maybe I'll go to Highgarden.
Yep. So, yeah, I guess Larys is a good possibility. I didn't even think about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Important to point out, not in the book, so, I can do whatever I want in speculation.
Would he have gotten a boat? Or would he have actually just traveled by land? Because
No,
by
High
boat.
Garden's in like the middle of the land, so he wouldn't go
Oh,
anywhere
High
by
Garden?
boat. Yeah.
Wait, isn't that where the Tyrells are?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going to Old Town. Okay, High Garden wouldn't. Okay, then
Well,
I
he
don't
was
know.
going to go there, but High Garden's on the way, and he was going to be like, maybe I can convince the High Towers to fight
Okay.
with us. The High Gardeners, the fucking Tyrells, EliteAri.
Yes. It could be. No, I got completely messed up. I was gonna say no. Who were the people who captured Tyrion in like season 1 or something? They were
In
like
the
savages
Eyrie,
or something,
Catelyn
weren't
got
they?
him.
No, they were like
Yeah,
it was like weird.
the Eyrie
like-
Wild Things. Yeah,
Maybe it's people like that. I don't know. That could be a possibility. That'd be really funny.
the Erie's the other way, but
It doesn't have to be the Eyrie. Maybe
around.
bandits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. A faceless man.
Maybe
got
he
him?
went
I
to
don't know.
High Garden, and High Garden was like, "I'm Team Black. You're going to jail, old man."
It could be. Yeah. I think of all these options, I like the Laris option. That's a cool option.
Which would probably mean he's still in King's Landing, which is funny.
That would be
Maybe
really funny.
Massaria got him.
Oh yeah, it could be. That could be. No, I don't think. I think she'd tell Rhaenyra straight away.
Oh, it'd be cool if she had a secret though, EliteAri.
I did think for a second because you know in this final compilation here at the end of the episode we end on a woman looking to the sunset. I was like, why did they end on Massaria? But no, I guess that's just
That was
Allison.
Alicent.
Yeah, first I had to go back and rewatch it, but yeah, it was Allison. What a shame. So I don't know. I doubt it's Massaria. It could be Bran. I don't know. Maybe he converted like some person into a three-eyed raven and used them to. I don't know. Blah blah blah. You get the point.
Otto is Bran's biggest obstacle in the whole saving the White Walkers plan. This Otto could undo it all.
Yep.
And they all played their themes, EliteAri. We got the Lannister theme and the Stark theme, and we love the original show.
Yep, we do.
And then I have Duncan Egg trailer and Last of Us trailer. And I was going to ask you if you'd seen them, but you hadn't.
Haven't seen either. Now I have some things. Number one, I said this is a cool ending, but I don't know if the hype is still going to be here in 2 years. So, yep, I guess we'll see. And then I also wrote Kyle's tweet ? You made a tweet, right? Did we talk about it?
Oh yeah, you can read my tweet now. I guess it's just me making fun of Dany fans, but you can whip it up. You can bring it up. You can.
Why does it? Oh, what is it? What are you responding to? Daenerys in the prophecy of. Does it have spoilers for me? Can I read this?
No, you can read it.
Okay, Daenerys in the prophecy of Ice and Fire. She's the prince that is promised, and then it's just like a person tweeting that, and it's got like a bunch of pictures of like absolute cinema, and this is great and Goosebumps and all that. Then Kyle responded saying, "Why does it matter? Why are all Dany fan accounts so happy? It just means the prince that was promised is wrong, right? She didn't kill the Night King. Arya did. She was never Queen of Westeros. Why does it matter? What does it mean? I think this is just the fuck you to Jon Snow accounts they've argued with on Twitter for 5 years." So what are you saying here?
True.
You're saying that...
Because I saw so many tweets of these Dany fans going like, "Their show finally confirmed it. She was the prince that was promised, and she's the greatest character." And it's like, what? No.
How did they confirm that? If anything, wouldn't they
she was
confirm
in
that
this
Rhaenyra is the prince that was promised because she was on the throne at the end?
True, but no. Obviously, it wasn't confirmed, but that's what the accounts interpreted it as, because she was in this vision and Jon Snow wasn't, and Arya wasn't.
You sure the White Walker wasn't the prince that was promised? He was there. We got a close up of him. We never know.
Also, no mention of the prince that was promised anywhere.
That's also very true. Yep.
Well, I guess if this is the vision that Aegon saw originally, then he somehow said prince that was promised.
What are we saying? The three-eyed raven is the prince that was promised, obviously, because he's in the tree in the Flash vision to the future. He looks like a prince. He's got blonde hair.
The prince that was promised is retarded.
He's sitting on a throne. He's sitting on a wooden throne. He's literally the prince that was promised. Was he a prince back in the day?
Oh my god, EliteAri, you should tweet this and get 15,000 Dany fans calling you a little cuck pussy.
True. All right, well.
But yeah, anyway, it was pissing me off. I was seeing them all on Twitter, Why would you celebrate? Prince that was promised is stupid anyway.
Hi. Amen to that. All right, with that's everything.
The prince that was. Oh my god, EliteAri! I have EliteAri predictions. I don't see how they'd be any more informed because nothing happened this episode.
Mm-hmm.
True. I said maybe we can play Dead or Not Dead by the end of the series. Do you want to do that, EliteAri?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll nail it.
Rhaenyra, Dead or Not Dead.
Okay, I need to think in a grander perspective here. Someone will have to be the king in the
Daemon's
end.
gonna kill her.
That was a prediction. But let me think. We've got the conclusion is it has to be a Targaryen late in the end, because I know that eventually it becomes the Mad King Ares or whatever, and he's a Targaryen.
You can say not sure.
No. Rhaenyra, I think she has to die. No, you know what it has to be? I just thought about it. She has to die because the prince that was promised ID has to be lost to time. So I don't feel like I feel like anyone who knows it is like marked for death. So she has to die. Jace has to die. Daemon has to die. Other than that, I guess anyone else can live. But yep.
It could just get lost like a few generations down.
Nah, it's anticlimactic. They have to die because they know it. That's my absolutely. I'm sticking with that.
So you just skipped 2 characters now. So I'm just gonna jerk off over Alicent.
Oh geez, this is very difficult, Kyle. I feel like she can live. She's fine. She'll live a happy life. She's okay.
What about Aegon?
He's dead.
What about Aemond?
He's dead. He's gonna die with Daemon and Harrenhal.
What about the Great Helena?
She'll commit suicide.
What about the Great Daeron?
I know nothing about him, so I have no idea.
What about the Great Otto Hightower?
He'll die of old age, but he'll die. He'll be dead by the end of this book.
No, well, they're all dead by the end of the book.
Huh?
The book, the book goes on for like a few years after.
Whatever. They'll be end by the end of this battle, this big war or whatever. He'll be dead, but he'll die of old age. He won't die in battle or anything.
No, you can't die of old. He's not that old, EliteAri.
No, but the war's gonna last for like 20 years or something. I don't think it's gonna end soon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen Cole.
He'll die. If he lives, that'd be the craziest thing ever.
EliteAri. No, he won't. Gawain Hightower, EliteAri.
He'll die. He's always he wants to go to war and stuff. He'll die. He'll be dead, obviously.
First of all, he doesn't want to go to war. Second of all,
why did he volunteer?
He didn't. Aemon made them all go.
Huh?
Oh, the first time you wanted to go,
okay.
but
yeah,
not the second time, you idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Saria.
I don't know. I could imagine her dying, but I could also imagine her running away. So I don't know. I'm ambivalent on her.
What about the great Joffrey?
He'll just live a happy life in Essos.
He's not in Essos. He's in the Eyrie.
Yeah, but they're like going to Essos, right?
No, only the little kids are.
Oh, is he just like there as like a hostage or like
he's staying there to use his dragon, and it's going to grow and protect the Eyrie.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, he'll be fine then, I guess.
So the little kids are fucking. What did you just say? Are they dead?
Yeah, the little kids going to Essos, they'll be fine. They'll just like live there. Maybe they'll like go into hiding eventually if they lose, their family loses.
They got ate by that fucking dragon, bro.
That's what I thought for a second.
You can make a Simon Strong prediction, even though I said he's probably gonna.
Yeah, he said he's gonna die. I think that.
I don't know. I'm hoping.
I imagine.
You know, literally, I bet when they invented him this season, they were like, he's definitely dying next season. But now that they know how much we love him, he won't die.
He is going to be the big casualty of the big battle at Harrenhal when Daemon and Aemond and all that come and fight. He'll be the casualty.
Oh, what about Alice Rivers? She doesn't even exist.
Yeah, she's just. Oh, we're gonna get a cool scene where like Daemon's gonna like meet her after like a few years or something, and she's just gonna be a normal person and not remember him at all, and it'll be like, oh my god, she never existed. She was just like being taken over in all those scenes. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cool.
Now that would be crazy with a capital K. Now,
God, wouldn't it have been so cool if like? Oh no, never mind. It doesn't work.
What about Corlys, EliteAri? That's a character.
I feel like he's already had his death fake out, so I think he'll live somehow. I don't know how he would live though.
Live epically.
Because I've never heard of a Velaryon in my life, so I feel like the whole line of like people.
There are in fact Velaryons in Stannis' army. I don't think they ever say in the show, but you know they still exist. Come
thank God.
The real show.
Alan
completely unimportant because they definitely got made important in Fire and Blood. You know, they faked it. Now, any characters I'm forgetting, EliteAri? I'm sure I am, but you know.
Baylor, Jace.
Baylor, first of all, you already said Jace was going to die. Baylor and Rhaena, the great characters, the great sisters.
Baylor and Rhaena. Because I'm trying to think, like the status quo at the end. Suppose that you have some people on the blacks who are alive and some people on the greens who are still alive. In order for there to be a status quo, either they like one side has to be completely wiped out, or someone on the other side has to like go into hiding, or someone on that other side has to be like subservient or like committed to the other side. I could imagine Baylor
fucking turncoat.
I could imagine Baylor and what's the sister's name? Rhaena. Yeah, I could imagine that maybe Rhaena probably more so because she feel like she's been scorned by like not having a dragon. Maybe she could turn. I don't know about Baylor. Baylor, I could imagine either way. I'm not sure.
Now that is crazy. What if like Baylor marries Aemond and that ends the war? Aemond is the king.
Well, Aemond's gonna die in the God's Eye, so I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, that's not gonna happen.
The show told me.
Now, Viserys, what's gonna happen to him?
That's one of the kids, right? Like a little kid?
No, I was making a funny joke because he's already dead.
Okay.
Well, Leary, that's about every character I've ever heard of, right?
All right. Yep,
Larys Strong.
Larys, he'll be dead. He's a little spy master guy. They never survived. Varys died. Littlefinger died. They're all gonna die.
They did, huh? Littlefinger and Varys fucking dead, if you can believe it. Oh my god. Littlefinger. Varys. This is crazy.
Oh, wow. Breaking new ground here.
I figured it out. I can't believe it. That's every character that ever existed. Tywin Lannister leader.
Make like a Dragon Ball Z fusion meme where you have like Larys on the middle and like Varys and Littlefinger on each side. People think it's so funny.
They were just so smart when they fused that they became a cripple.
Mm-hmm.
That they're faking being crippled. This is great. Grand Maester Orwyle leader, he's a fucking dead man.
I could imagine him serving a few more kings. I think he's okay.
Oh. I nearly asked a more pointed question, but that would be very bad.
The real question is, how the hell is Aegon going to survive without him? I feel like he really needs him right now. So I don't know.
Larys has got like the medicine in his pocket. Okay, it's okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But I think that's it, EliteAri, you know.
All right. Well done.
Anything else to say?
I am. You know
what? Fucking 2 years.
Season 1 ended on an absolute high, and I was on the edge of my seat to see next season. This season ended on not so much of a high. It was like I'm like interested in next season, but not as much as like the big dragon chase last finale. So I don't know. I'm interested. I'm gonna keep watching, obviously.
Now this fucking season 3 EliteAri, they got to be cramming everything into this. This season might be insanity.
What if it's 6 episodes? Wouldn't that be crazy? They just keep coming back every season.
No, the 2 things that we thought were going to be in the last 2 episodes of this season will actually be the last 2 episodes of next season. We'll just drag this motherfucker shit out. There's no way we end on armies marching. I can fully see them doing episode 1, no fight. Just because Lamau, fuck it, we can reintroduce characters, Lamau. It's been 2 years. But there's no way in episode 2 we ate fucking shit up.
Do you think there's a, this is kind of like a meme question, but do you think there is a possibility that, say, 10 years from now, the show's on its like 7th season or something and it's still going on and everyone starts like turning and they're like, oh, we thought we had it bad when Game of Thrones started speeding it up, but look at what we have now. It's just never ending.
The one we've slowed it down.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, we didn't know what we had back in the day. We were so glad in those years, like 20 years ago when Game of Thrones was airing, that was the good times. It's possible, right?
George R. R. Martin did say one time that he wanted 3 10-episode seasons, and that would be the whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Or at least go into 4, I think.
Well, at some point they were going to do movies, right? Imagine that. That'd be so weird.
Of this? I don't know.
No, sorry, of Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, yeah, it's not where he would get movie offers and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, that would be epic. Wouldn't you love to see like a 2003 Game of Thrones movie directed by the great Bryan Singer? You know, that pedophile guy who made the great X-Men movies? That would be epic with those CG effects. It would be truly White Walker spectacular.
Mm-hmm. All right, now's your call to action, Kyle. Let the commenters know what to comment. Please direct them.
Well, literally 2 years, but we'll be back next year, of course, for the great Dunk and Egg television show.
Is there an actual date for that? Is that like next year?
It is next year because they're trying to do one show every year and have the 2, you know.
Well, I am excited. I hope we get more of Bran in that.
Oh, literally, I was going to say the funny reason, because after season 1 of House of the Dragon ended, we did get a bunch of trailers for all of HBO's upcoming things, and it ended with the first look at The Last of Us TV show. That was crazy. We all went mad, you know. Too bad that show sucks, literally, and I hate it. Not really, you know, but maybe. And we did it this time where we got the thingy for Dunk and Egg and The Last of Us Season 2. But the reason why they do this, EliteAri, is because everybody fucking deletes their shitty HBO subscription when that Game of Thrones isn't on. And so they're like, please stay around, please stick around.
Today.
We got fucking the fucking Last of Us is coming out later this year. Please stick around. It's definitely not coming out this year. It's next year, but it's funny that they do that. I feel like they only do it after House of the Dragon. It's hilarious. Now, Leo, when I teased bringing that up before we started streaming, you wanted to interrupt me and say that you actually knew why they did that. Was that a joke, or do you have nothing to say?
Why they did what?
Why they do this trailer thing?
Oh no, I was gonna say why they do make it so short and only show like 5 seconds or something. It's because they probably haven't finished like the production yet.
No, I heard this fucking Dunk and Egg shit was only shooting like when the show started, so
wow.
I thought this was some fake shit. Now they just had like 3 shots of like characters looking, so it wasn't that much. But in that fucking Last of Us one, they had like the party scene, and I was like, oh, look at this, and it had a one shot of Abby for a second, but you had to freeze frame it.
I'm so excited.
It's crazy. They're showing like late Abby story stuff, and like I assume this season would just be like the Ellie side,
Maybe
and then
it's
the
like
next
pre-animated, like all those Attack on Titan trailers.
True.
That one Mushoku Tensei
because we saw Isaac in there, played by Jeffrey Wright.
Really?
Which is crazy.
Oh, really?
You don't remember who Isaac is?
Of course.
Yeah, because he played him in the game.
Crazy. Oh wait, well, yeah, but okay, that's kind of crazy. Oh my gosh.
But they had a different face because that's what they do in video games. But now it's just going to be him. He doesn't look as menacing as his game counterpart. It's a little funny.
Our poor viewers, they're not here.
Oh,
they probably
love
hate The Last of Us too, right? They're like, oh, they
Remember
probably
when
read the
EliteAri
leaks.
refused to review? Remember when EliteAri refused to review The Last of Us with me?
Yeah,
I just don't have much to say. Sorry.
Sure. Yep.
I'm gonna kill EliteAri. Tomorrow in our X-Men discussion, check out the OrdinaryAri channel for that. Support links in the description below.
Thanks.
This isn't Chainsaw Man. I should just say thanks.